Okay, let's let's do this. Hopefully my connection's okay. I noticed that my bar keeps like I don't know. One second, gotta change my audio real quick. Get that out of the way. Okay, cool. Welcome everybody. Before we begin, I wanted to wait. How many people got here? Three. Okay, I'll wait a little later in the stream, but I want to get you guys' opinion about something for I guess it'll be a couple weeks from now. A later stream. Anyways, I'll discuss it later. I want to get a more of a I want to get more people into. It's basically a vote almost, but I wanted to kind of ask the stream specifically since you guys actually show up for all of them, and so your thoughts might be, I think, more. I won't say more important, but more relevant, I guess. And that's the following, which is so Attack on Titan's ending soon, as you guys know, or maybe you don't know. I don't know. You don't know maybe you don't even know what Attack on Titan is. But anyways, it's ending approximately. I think it's a couple weeks because we're basically getting to the last point. So the question I have is: would you guys be interested in a stream after it's completed to do a discussion about the ending and also how it relates to Code Geass? I'm also planning, as you guys may or may not know, to do a video discussing Lelouch and Aaron plans in both series. Since you guys, it's not really just you guys. A lot of people have compared them. Some of those comparisons I think are well justified. Some are not. But anyways, I wanted to do a discussion about Attack on Titan versus Code Geass and how that worked, and also just discuss the ending in general. If you guys are interested in that type of, um, I'll do a poll later during this one, see if you guys are interested or not. But it to do, I guess. Or there will be a video coming out to discuss it as well. So apparently, our again, it's one of those topics where everyone has an opinion about it, and everyone's that Aaron basically gets something similar to Lelouch or something like that. I don't know. It's I have some mixed feelings about it, but that's the basic premise behind that. That's all I want to say about that. We can get into the episodes. There is a lot to unpack, and I will say just outright that 22 and 23 are really good for the most part. You want to say about let's get this out over here. Okay, they're pretty good. Most of the continuity is actually well done. There's like a couple scenes in 23 where again there's problems with 2019 that keep creeping up in the story. It's almost like 19's a gift that just keeps on giving because each episode has to like acknowledge that it changed the rest of the story, has to keep throwing in things. But thankfully, at least in this episode, you don't see too much of it, so that's a good thing. I'll definitely say that's a positive. The cool part about this episode too is that it starts off with Lelouch's actions as he destroys Britannia from within, and it's basically destroyed down his father's statue, destroyed the mausoleum. He abolished the aristocracy, so there's no nobility. He broke the bureaucratic cliques, he liberated the numbers, and he made his family work as servants, as you see here. There's Genevieve and Catherine, I believe. And what I think is funny is that I don't know if Genevieve deserves to be doing this, but definitely Catherine, because she was such an obnoxious person. I get it, she's spoiled and all that stuff, but still very obnoxious. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty apropos that she would be doing that sort of thing because she probably looked at it. We don't see where Odysseus is now in the manga. We see him, I think, on the field somewhere. We don't see him act in. We don't actually see him in the scene here, so that's kind of what starts there. Tommy does more. Let's say, oh my god, Tamaki does more flip flopping in this episode than the big heel turn in professional wrestling. You get the reference, but Tamaki is just the most. It's yeah. How about this? He is like he can't. It's like he was. Of course, he's for our side. Now he's not for our side. Now he's for our side. See, I told you he's for our side. It's fun. He can't. It's not fun anymore. You know, there's certain lines. I'm just like, shut the heck up, Tamaki. No one cares. So there is that. It's fun to mention that. Oh, yeah. Okay, so they're all talking by the way Nick Karuga about Lucia's plans. A couple things odd to me. Number one, they mentioned how the Lelouch really hate the royal family, and I kind of find that odd because when Cornelia and Schneizel were talking to them, they could have brought that up. There are many things they never discussed with them, like Nunnally, which is still kind of strange to me because that's literally why Lelouch was doing half the things he did. and they told the Black Knights about Nunnally, they would say, "Oh, that's why he was so obsessed with the Viceroy and getting her and stuff like that." They didn't really discuss that, as far as I know. Yeah, Tom again is dumb again. Yeah, there's also the other thing too with the episode. Again, I do the same thing too, but it's odd how like some points in the episode the characters will be saying Lelouch. Sometimes they say zero, and it's like, guys, just pick one and stick with it. And they never seem to do that. It's like it's either Lelouch or zero. They keep flip flopping them. I mean, technically at this point, this is not even either one. This is Evil Emperor Lelouch. It's not really zero. It's not really Lelouch v Britannia. So it's kind of odd because they keep saying zero, no, Lelouch, no, Lelouch, no, zero. I'm like, God, just pick one, stick with it. And the movie was the same thing. Like, there was parts where I believe Ogie was like, I don't know about Lelouch, but I trust zero. I'm like, what does that mean in that context? It's very strange. I know that each alias is different, but ultimately they all have some connection to the real Lelouch. It's just like if you're going to call him one or the other, just stay consistent with it. They keep switching up what they call him. It's a very minor nitpick. I just wanted to mention it was kind of weird. Then in Pendragon, Lelouch uses his Geass power, and this is, I think, an example of the story slowly showing you how strong power got in twofold. One, he commanded over 1,000 people. I did count this, by the way. This is about 1,000 people, all crammed in one room, this must be a gigantic hall. But also, he could command them to be his slave. I don't think Lelouch could have done that in the past. I think that Geass wasn't as strong enough to get people to command to be a slave. That's a fan theory, by the way, as to why he couldn't just tell people from the beginning, be my slaves, basically wish for more wishes. I think that was the reason why. He just wasn't strong enough. Then Lloyd's like, can I study this Geass power? And Jeremiah's like, do you want to die, Lloyd? And Lloyd's like, what? In the traditional sense? Ridiculous. Jeremiah comes back, wiped out Earl Rosencrantz, because basically what Lelouch is doing is that he became emperor, but not everyone acknowledges his rule, which makes sense. So what he's doing, taking out all the other factions that oppose him, which makes sense. But it's only, from what I understand, it's only within the Britannian Empire. I don't think he's even fighting the UFN currently, so that's not important. We'll discuss that later. So I'm not sure why, when there's like certain critiques about his actions, it's really against the Britannian Empire. I don't think he's fighting anyone else in the UFN. I think some forces might have what's the term? Not left. Succeeded from Britannia. But other than that, I mean, they're just conquering the people who are opposing them, essentially. It's also cool how they got rid of the number system, which means all those nations were freed, which does come later in conversation. And that's what I like about this episode. There's a lot of parts where characters are talking about the situation at hand, and they make sure the characters use the correct term and terminology, and they act like how they would. It's good stuff, and it kind of baffles me how in this episode they got it right and the characters are acting intelligently, but other ones they don't use the same level of intelligent writing. So I'm not sure why they were inconsistent with it. It's like Code Geass is consistently inconsistent when it comes to making characters sound smart or not sound smart. Because this whole episode, there's so many good moments I'll point out where characters are like, "Yeah, that's what you would. That makes perfect sense." Like they don't know about that. That's good. It's good follow-up dialogue. Sometimes it's like, what? Then Lucius is like, I'm not popular amongst the people, and CC2 is like, yeah, because when you conquer them, they don't like that sort of thing. Oh, I know there's like a month between this event. There's a whole manga, I think it's called Rebellion RE, where it discusses all that stuff. But still, Jeremiah thought Lucius was dead a while ago, so the fact that he doesn't really saying, "Oh, I'm glad you're alive. It's good to see you," is kind of disappointing. Again, his whole reaction, Jeremiah Lucius dying, didn't make any sense. But that's neither here nor there. But to make people understand, then to get rid of their past grudges, to join him, which is it's funny the way he smiles about it. Okay, then we get to a part where we actually get this is between Lloyd and Cecile. Well, it is C2, right? Because Cecile Chromie, but you know what I mean. They're talking about the Zero Requiem, and saying that actually there's a bigger plan going on than what people understand. They even say, is this really even a homeland anymore? Which makes sense because if Britannia was taken over by Lelouch, would this still be the homeland? Plus, he abolished like the numbers, and so the way the country is now is not the way it used to be since Lelouch took over. It's a very interesting discussion between the two characters. Essentially, they're hinting about what the Zero Requiem is actually about, and apparently Schneizel and Cornelia left. They're in Cambodia, as far as I know, and without them being there, doesn't even legitimize any of this stuff. It's quite interesting. I guess they don't realize that they're not involved. Also, she tells them that Lelouch and Sayako went to the same together. I guess Lloyd never knew that, although in one episode, I think it was stage 18, right after Sayako became Euphemia's knight. go to the school, see Suzaku. Did you not see Lelouch by him? I mean, Cecile only saw Lelouch maybe a couple times with Suzaku. There was a part where what was it? There was the one part where it was the school festival, and then where she hit the hammer, hit Lelouch, and the part where she also went to go grab Suzaku for the what was it? She grabs Suzaku for hold on, let me think. It was for the to execute Toto. I'm not sure why that took long to get that out there. But anyways, I mean they've definitely. I mean she I guess had more experience than Lloyd, but it doesn't really matter. We get to now. This is an interesting part of the story that I don't know why I forgot about this, but so Nina's being hunted by people. Okay, I know. Did you remember that? I forgot about that. She's being hunted by people who want because they know that she made the Flea warhead. They're going after her. She's kind of surprised people would do that. I'm like, Nina, you made weapons of mass destruction. Obviously, it might make some people mad. But more importantly, this was like a major possible plot point in the story, and it's kind of like relegated to some kind of minor inconvenience where she's rescued by the Lelouch. Unless Lelouch made this up, I don't know. But it's so strange. She's saying how there's people want to come after her. That's why she's hiding in the school. But my thought is, who, what, when, how? Like, who knew she made the Flare warhead? Schneizel was the face of that. Was she like published in some kind of science magazine as the one who made the Flea? They don't really explain that. It's like, oh, she made the Fleas. They're going after her. Okay, and that could have been a nice little subplot to have developed more. It's like mentioned and then kind of thrown away. I mean, is that what she's arrested in the end of the show? I don't think so. This also brings up a very important point. If countries were going after her, why would she be arrested after Zero Requiem then? Because she still made the Flea warhead. It's like this whole idea is interesting, but sort of like forgets about it. Because if this was actually a real problem, like she committed a war crime, or the reason why the countries are after, maybe it's to make their own Flea warheads. Whatever the case is, if this is a problem where they're going after her, why wouldn't I don't know she be arrested in the show? Unless they pardon her, but again, did we even see that? It's just weird how they want to go after her, but we didn't even. I don't recall her ever being publicly announced she made the thing. I don't think she even wanted her name on that. Maybe I missed something in the previous episodes. Maybe there's some visual novel or something that explains this, but what a very strange situation with Nina that doesn't really go anywhere. And then I like how Millie said earlier, how the dialogue here actually makes sense. She says it's not Area 11 anymore, it's Japan. It's not the homeland anymore. Apparently has no ability because lose just autocracy. So when she talks about her situation, it's interesting and it makes sense. It's like Lelouch's actions affect everyone, and on a small level, you see it occurring. I really like that. But again, I'm just kind of with the whole Nina and like being hunted on. That's kind of cool, I guess. That's my way. This is the picture from that. The Emperor's statue was destroyed, and the mausoleum is dead. Then Riva gives her some pizza, and that's what they're doing there, I guess. This is the Aresville, I believe. Lucius is talking to Suzaku about the plan to basically do so much damage that they will forget about Princess Massacre and still obviously conquer the world. Now, there's a lot of interpretations as to what it means. I actually read a post today about it, and I don't really agree, but I like to discuss it anyways. It was the idea that apparently Lelouch would the Fleas after getting them to kill the different, I guess, people, innocent civilians to recreate a similar massacre on a level of Euphemia, but like so much more that people would forget about it. I don't agree with this interpretation for a couple of reasons. One, Lelouch would give people a future, so obviously killing people would go against that whole philosophy. So I don't think he would actually do that. He also, the Schneizel later on in the episode says that, like, the nations would join up with him because they're choosing the lesser of two evils. Either they join Lelouch and his evil emperor reign, which honestly we'll get to that later. But joining Schneizel makes no sense. We'll get to that later. But anyways, you choose Lelouch, evil emperor Lelouch, who is treachery and controls people in dictatorship, or join Schneizel, who also will have dictatorship with weapons of mass destruction. Either way, your options suck. But the point I'm trying to make is that people would just willingly join Schneizel because they don't want to die. They wouldn't want to fight if they can't. So that's why I don't think Lelouch would have to use the flay on anyone anyways to get them to go with him. And more importantly, I don't think that's what he even meant. I thought he meant by just the whole thing he's been doing up to this point. When he obviously he didn't kill Charles. Well, he kind of it's complicated. But the Charles, the whole we're gonna see later on in the next episode, all the destruction and chaos he caused and the violence, all of that, I think definitely eclipses Princess Euphemia, and that's what I think, or Princess Massacre. That's what I think he meant by people forget about what she did because of what I'm doing. I don't think it specifically was like a body count. I think it's just his overall actions of how much damage causing. He did say spill blood, but I think it's the how. It's not really how much blood, it's whose blood and the circumstances of spilling that blood. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on that. That was just how I interpreted those statements. Then he's like, "We're going to conquer the world." And Sokka's like, "Yes, Your Majesty." They also, this is an interesting part. So when C2 and Lloyd come to talk to them, they discuss how Cambodia succeeded from Britannia, which is where Schneizel and Cornelia are currently at with the Democles. And they have some intel that they have the flares there and they're going to launch everyone. So Lelouch knows at this point that he wants to discipline the world. Apparently, he knows, and Cornelia doesn't at this point. Or at the very least, he knows that Schneizel has a powerful weapon that can launch flares to, again, to discipline. He somehow found this. They don't really explain that, but there is that element to the story. So that's kind of interesting, I guess. And then that's a good part too. So he gets a call. I forgot who told him this, but the Knights of the Round come to fight Lelouch, and it's great. They're all like charging Pendragon. You have Bismarck, you got Dorothea, Monica, and Gino, and I love this whole scene. It's just this is one of the best scenes in the entire show. Suzaku comes in with the Avalon, the airship, and he just kills them all. It's fantastic. He just wipes them all out. I mean, Dorothy gets like absolutely no screen time. So for her, it's like, who was it? I remember watching a show when I was much younger. I was like, well, that one was kind of hot. Why'd she die? That was kind of a shame. We don't see much of. The best you get with Dorothy is a reflection for some more images, even if we don't see here. Same with Monica, which was depressing. In the film, you see her back of her head, which is like, okay, great. There's a new image of her for Janissary Code, which you do see her whole body. I used it in my latest video. There's also that other art they made of all of them at the beach. But other than that, you don't see much of Dorothy in this anime, which is another example of like the rushness coming into a factor of how they kind of ruined the Knights of the Round. Because Dorothy was obviously an interesting character, or I think was supposed to be, but who knows. And then Monica, we see a little more of her, but again, it's just she was with the Emperor sometimes. I guess she's a good pilot. She's blown up in a couple seconds. I mean, Dorothy is dead like in seconds. It's great too. They show a first person perspective of her in the nightmare frame, and the blast just comes to the screen. You're like, oh, that's what that's like, and then she dies. It's like, oh god, you're right. I'm like, yeah, I'll say the same thing. Like, who is this beautiful woman? Why is she dead so quickly? Why do you do this to me? And then Monica was the same. It's like, I know a little bit about her, and then but she gets lucky. Suzaku spares his life for some reason. I know it's Kate's main character, but still, he spares his life. He just kicks him to the curb, and then Biz was like, I'm gonna, I have power once, and it gets Marion the ability to see into the future. Which, as far as I know, it's not he can see into the future. He can see a couple of seconds into the future. So you can kind of see Suzaku's movements, I think, a couple seconds in advance. He can't actually see into the future. That's the way I understood it anyhow. Because when he finds Suzaku, you see like a red image of where he's supposed to go when he fights him. I assume that image is of him seeing where he will be so he can accept him. So it's the only way to kill Bismarck, which I thought was brilliant. You know what? I don't care if you can see where I'm coming. I'm going to come right at you at full speed and slash your nightmare frame. It doesn't matter if you know I'm coming around. You can't stop me because my nightmare frame has better specs. And you need to live, which is a powerful weapon which enhances Suzaku's reflex abilities because the gas forced him to fight at his max capacity to live. And so he charged at Bismarck with full force and he come in half. It's an epic scene. And that's, I think, how he beat him because the Albion is stronger than the Yell had in just specs alone, plus the way he cut him up. It kind of reminds me, this is a weird comparison, that's what I was thinking about, or no, comparison, analogy, I guess. You guys probably don't know baseball, but it's okay. In baseball, so there was a pitcher. His name was Steve Carlton. Again, you probably don't know much about that. Anyhow, he threw a slider, and the slider was unhittable, and everyone knew it was coming, but you couldn't fight against it. It was irrelevant. You knew the slider was coming. Didn't matter. So basically, Suzaku telegraphed he was coming at him, but because he's so much more powerful, it just didn't matter against Bismarck. So I don't know if skill-wise Suzaku was necessarily better than Bismarck, but I will say nightmare frame-wise, he definitely was better. I mean, the better specs won, I think, this battle here. I would have loved to see Bismarck and Suzaku fight on an equal playing field. No Geass abilities or enhancements, just same level Nightmare Frame specs and see who would win. But in this case, it was, I think, just a better. Saku's reflexes enhanced, plus just a stronger Nightmare Frame that won the battle. Either way, it was so cool. And when you see the Excalibur split in half, oh my god, there's so much like I don't know if it's symbolism or metaphor behind it, which is just like awesome. It's keep smelling a mic here. It's split in half, and Bismarck is just gone. Like in a matter of seconds, that's my face to watch it. It's like it's so cool. In a matter of seconds, Lelouch and Saku just took out the whole trash. Everyone who opposed, they're all dead. Well, for the most part, they're all. It's crazy. And Lelouch is like, that's the mausoleum by the way they blew up. Lelouch is like, all right, we're in charge. I want to join the UFN. And then they're like, what? UFN? Yes, I want to join the UFN. And then we're in ambush. Now we get the scene here of Cornelia, and I want to take back what I said earlier, which was the following. I made fun of how Cornelia's arm was stuck in the same place throughout the last couple episodes. Actually, it's been over 2. And apparently it's because her arm was broken. I get that, okay? However, I'm still confused as to like how it took so long in Britannian medical science. Taking that all away, though, I will admit it was a nice subtle aspect to the story. They didn't discuss it much. Like her, I don't think they ever said once her arm was even broken. You had to, of course, just visually see it. And this scene here, you see that Cornelia is just like flexing her arm because she took off the cast for the first time. No one discusses it with her, but she's just flexing her arm. Again, it's a nice subtle scene. I don't think it makes a lot of sense in grand scheme to other stuff, but in a vacuum, I definitely like how it was one of those subtle things if you're paying attention that kind of threw it out there. And I can also argue that Cornelia taking out V2, the Geass Order, and doing everything else with one arm was pretty badass. But again, it doesn't. It still makes a lot of her stuff in the story. Like it's still not. It doesn't fix the issue I have with her character. It's like a nice little add-on, I guess. If you were paying attention, Cornelia kicked ass with one arm. I like that, but still, a lot more. Now, I believe I'm trying to remember. Was this where they said it? Hold on. One thing I wanted to make sure I don't. One thing before I continue here. Let's see. There's one thing I want to make sure I don't forget. Where was it? One second. Okay, yes. All right. So during this party, first of all, Anya's with them. And I think this is the normal Anya, not the Marion in Anya, obviously, because Marion's gone. I'm wondering, though, this is one of those things where it's like, if this is not so much relevant to this particular scene, but when Jeremiah uses the Geass Counselor on Anya to erase all the damage that was done to her, who is Anya anymore at that point? Because doesn't she revert back to the way she was? Or I don't even know. I've always wondered, because she got her memory messed with when she was a kid. So what exactly happened to her after Jeremiah erased her memories? I mean, Shirley went back to the way Shirley remembered everything that happened to her when she got her Geass removed, right? So she remembered Lelouch was 0, and he killed her father, and then remembered with to begin with. So does Anya remember at the end that she lost her memories, and she did see Marion get killed? Like, did V2 kill Marion because she was present there? Like, they don't really explain. Like, it would be nice to see rather what Anya actually remembered and who she is now once the Geass was removed on her. Okay, next thing I want to mention here is that so Schneizel tells Cornelia, and this is very important because I made that whole video about how Nelly survived the Flay War. You guys had told me there's some of an Oz reflection that kind of hinted towards what actually happened. Actually, it showed you. But here, there's something they mentioned. It was a very subtle thing. And again, this is the problem I have with this whole subplot in general. It should not have been subtle. They should have showed exactly what happened. Anyways, Schneizel tells Cornelia that somebody escaped who didn't agree with us. Now, I assume, since, okay, they don't tell us, I assume that was Sayako. So that means the whole time that Nelly and Sayako were with them this whole time, they protected them, and Sayako, I guess, ran away when she learned what he was really up to. I guess. I think that was going on here, but I could be completely wrong. But there are some things that are interesting. So Schneizel rescued Nelly and Sayako. He made them believe Lelouch was evil or something because they had to be around him. I know that the Glinda Knights took care of them in Oz Reflection, but I'm just going with like what we have in the actual anime itself. But even that's kind of strange too. They want to go back to Lelouch. I mean, Sayako was very loyal to him. Going further, so Sayako realized what was going on with the Flayas and left. Now, this is very important because in the next episode, when Sayako talks to Jeremiah, nothing that I just mentioned came up in that conversation. It's very strange how in this part of the episode, Schneizel brings up something or hints at something that's actually very important that kind of hints to I'm like, yay, the show actually did it. And I was, my. Then I watched 23 and I'm like, no, they didn't. I don't think they knew what they were doing. That's the funny part. They should have kept this idea going that Sayako and Anya were rescued by Schneizel. They were with him for a while, which is what actually happened in Oz the Reflection. And then Sayako runs away when she learns about with the Flea plans, I guess. And Pendragon was blown up. I guess that's what happened. Again, it could have been done way better, but I think that's what they were trying to do there. Oh, Shadow says the world must just decide if Democles will be an option or not. And I'm thinking, what the hell does that mean? Dude, you control Democles. You're the one in charge, not the world. You're the one threatening them, not the other way around. That's weird to me. And again, the probably have the whole thing with like Cornelia is that we'll get to it later on, but her loyalty to this plan to use the flares to attack people, I don't really care what the circumstances are, should not have ever been approved if she doesn't like the idea of killing lots of people. I know it was to stop Lelouch, but come on now. We'll get into why this makes no sense later, but I just think Schneizel saying this is funny because no, you're determined to deflect or not. The role supports you. Yeah, that's not how this works. So either he's being funny on purpose, or I don't know. It's interesting. I love the scene between T2 and Lelouch, how Lelouch says, they love their democracy, and T2's like, it's just to make peace and do all this stuff when he's really not, obviously. It's good stuff, and how C2's like, you sure it's just us? I guess, I'm not sure why she said that out loud, because they knew Suzaku was coming. I guess it was like I guess they're just playing it out or something, like play pretend. I don't know. It was weird. Speaking out loud, like an empty with no one watching us, so they wouldn't really say that, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I still love this dialogue between the two. You clearly tell there's more going on with these two than just friends at this point. I mean, this dialogue alone. So they land, and Millie's like, "Oh, it's Lelouch. Oh crap! I'm still filming." It was kind of funny because she knows them from the past. Lelouch comes out, and everyone's just like, he's waving his hand, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's Lelouch." And it's funny. He's playing this role perfectly. Lelouch is such a great actor, and this is his best role. I think he portrays in the story. He basically ignores Rivoli. It's fantastic. Now, this could be, I have my headcanon, which I'll insert right now. He hates Rivel, and he finally gets to do it, and it's okay. But the real reason is because he has to, Russell said, he has to keep kayfabe and put on the mask of being the evil Lelouch. What I like also is that, it's more continuity, great writing. The Black Knights stopped them and saying, "How dare you interrupt the Emperor?" Because at this point, they don't know about Geass because only the inner circle knows about Geass. And he just freed Japan by wiping out the whole number system. On some level, he's been a good ruler. He unfortunately represents the people in this anime because he keeps flip-flopping like how people are supposed to in understanding Lucius' character. That's, I think, Tomoki's role in general. Because Tomki is like, oh, he's good. Now he's bad. Now he's good. Now he's bad. And the people are like, he freed Japan, so he's good. And I think that's what people's opinions of him are. So they're like, how dare you disrespect the Emperor? You didn't rescue his rival, which was nice, but I thought people were after her. I guess not anymore. This is great too. So Kallen's like, Lelouch, before you did something, and he's like, are you Kallen Kozuki? Again, it's so because she's about to pour her heart to him. And he's like, Kallen, we're in broad daylight. What are you doing? By the way, who are you? Aren't you the captain of something? He basically pretends he doesn't know who she is. It's fantastic, and she plays along with it. And he tells her, you know what? Let's go have a private conversation. Let's go the long ways. And again, I could be wrong here, but I think he did this. I didn't mention this in my other videos now doing analysis of the characters, but I think he did this because he realized Kallen wanted to tell him something, and he figured, well, look, if we're going to talk about this, let's at least go into a private area. And what better place than a clubhouse, where we first had our confrontation about something similar to this. You remember with the whole, it was episode 3 with the whole, was it wine? Not wine. Alcohol that got sprayed on her. Not funny. I guess it was a funny episode. So I like how Lelouch, I guess subtly was like, look, you want to talk about this? Sure, but let's not do it in broad daylight. Come on now. People are watching. Okay, this is a part of the episode where like the damage of 19 affects the whole thing. So basically what's happening here is they're talking about how they have like the masks for people and contact lens anti-Geass measures. The problem with this is, again, like I said, 19. they don't know how Geass works. They've never seen action. There's no proof it even exists, and yet they're still like they have knowledge that they shouldn't have, and they're applying it in a way that wouldn't make sense because like they don't even know how it works. And I don't even know how the Geass contact lens that we got from C2 even work. So I know it can't go through certain things, but the way they're talking about it is if they're intimately familiar and they know all the analytical information about how Geass works when they have no idea whatsoever. And that's why I don't like the scene, because if they had actually showed how Geass worked and they all understood it, then these countermeasures would make sense, but they don't. It's almost like they're just kind of going along with it. Like the Schneizel literally tell them, if you look in your eyes, he takes control. Like they don't even know how the hypnosis even works. It may not even be eye contact. It is as we know it, but they don't know that. And Schneizel never said this. That's the problem with their countermeasures. They're doing it with knowledge they don't have, or they knowledge they have, don't know how they got it. I'll throw it out there again. 19 just keeps on. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Then she was this thing. He says that if Kallen shows she's under Geass command, again, I guess if he acts weird, they're going to shoot her on sight. The reason why this is important is because it implies that Kallen left that conversation and turned when he asked Lelouch, "Did you Geass on me, your slave and whatever?" And Lelouch said, "No, your mom was your own." So Kallen walks away thinking, "Oh, he never used Geass on me once." And that's what she must have told everyone in this room. But that's not what happened, as we know. He did use Geass on her in stage 3. So Lelouch did tell to Kallen, sort of, because he said, "I didn't use Geass on you to make you my servant." But he did use Geass on her, period. So from a certain point, he did tell a lie to her. And that lie, as you see, even to the very end, was still something that Kallen believed. So, good point there. Tamagi's like, "What's wrong with you guys? He's making friends." And I'm thinking, Tamagi, shut the fudge up. So then Kallen is saying, "Oh, this is great." So I got this wrong in one of my videos. I forgot which one it was. But basically, Kallen is telling Lelouch, if you didn't save me or come to the Shinjuku Ghetto, I would have ended my life, implying suicide. But in the sum, she says we would have died. And that's a big difference, okay? And I'm kind of annoyed that I got that wrong, because there's a big difference between characters saying, like, if you didn't rescue us, we would have perished, versus if you didn't come to the ghetto off myself. One implies that mentally they were not stable and there are other things going on. The other implies they were just being attacked by a stronger force. Lelouch was the one who saved them. Those are two different things. The story got it wrong here. Now, don't get me wrong. Given the life Khan was in Japan, given her motivation and her bond, it's very possible she contemplated offing herself. But the story never showed us that. What the story does show us is that Kallen was in that warehouse with the rest of the terrorists at the time. They weren't the Black Knights, and they're about to get killed by the Britannian force until them to see what told Clovis and the ceasefire. So that's what happened. So Kallen was like, the dubbing there was just awful. There's like 3 or 4 times in the story where the dubbing is just completely wrong, and this is one of those times. And the other ones are at least you'll forget about them, whatever. But people watch this scene all the time, and the fact they got this one wrong is just kind of I don't think it's acceptable. What about like the whole? We forgot to install a cockpit or ejection seat into the Lancelot. Okay, that's like they missed one word. Yet here it's like the difference between a person offing themselves or not dying due to those are two different things. And I love the scene in general because Kallen's explaining like everything that why she supported Lelouch, why she's thankful for him, what the Black Knights are up to, everything you did, what are you trying to go, because she's what's the aim here, what's the goal. She says that, if Ogi told me to save you because you'll make my brother's dreams come true. And Lelouch is basically not saying anything the whole time. He's just very stern, very stoic. There's actually one part, I don't have the image here, but you can see Lelouch's lips they zoom in on the lips. And I thought, okay, that's just stupid. What's the purpose behind that? Well, there actually is a reason. They zoom in on the lips because Lelouch wants to say something, but he can't. He has to keep, again, the face of the evil emperor. So he's like, Kallen, I want to tell you something, but I just can't say it. So I'm going to just keep my lips tight and just you keep it going. Because you can see there's like tension in the lips because clearly he wants to tell her something, but he just can't. Even his expression here, it's like you see here, he's a little upset because he wants to tell her something, but like he can't because of who he is. So Kallen's like, "What do I mean to you? You told me to live." And Lucia's like, I can't. She goes up to him and you see his eyes change. And so for like a couple seconds, he actually lost his. Actually, one second. Do I have the? Okay, cool. All right. So I was saying, for a couple seconds, he destroyed. He removed the mask. He's Lelouch, like actual Lelouch here, because eyes are widened, and he actually like an expression. Here he's expressionless, and here he actually is showing some kind of actual expression. So she kisses him, and what's important to it, his eyes are closed. He's totally in the moment. The reason why that's important, because if he was still playing his normal emperor, thing here, his eyes would be open and he'd be like, okay, whatever. But he's really into this kiss. So for a couple seconds, he gave Kallen something that she really wanted. But the problem is he doesn't reciprocate after that, and she starts crying. And that's important too, because she only gets upset after the kiss because he was involved in the kiss, but he wasn't involved afterwards. And that's when she's like, okay, goodbye, Lelouch. So I like this scene a lot. There's actually for a couple, like, I guess you can see frames. There's a lot happening here, but Lelouch basically has to be evil emperor, then not be evil emperor, and then go back to being evil emperor just again to protect Kallen. And she's like, okay, goodbye, Lelouch. And when she leaves, he goes goodbye. I zoom in on him because he was holding what he wanted to say. It's good stuff. It's upsetting as how this is our last conversation in the anime, but I think it worked. Again, you could do. Maybe I should analyze this whole scene for a video, discuss like why this is such a brilliant ending sequence for the two characters. I know I've already done them before. It's discussed them in our video, but hey, you know what? I think you can never have too much analysis when it comes to anime. Okay, so then Lelouch goes to do the meeting, and then Colin kind of leaves him. There's the Avalon. I think there was something going on here. Oh, yeah, there's a part, I think. Hold on. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. I think there's a where is it? Let's see. The budget, so Kage's mouth. Oh yeah, there's that. I guess I missed something else. There's something else there. So when Lucius is in the meeting discussing, Kage is talking and her mouth isn't moving. So I made a joke saying that they ran out of budget for her for her animation because she's not talking. Like her mouth is moving, but there's obviously sounds coming out. Then they use like this anti-Geass measure, and I love this part. They're all saying stuff sense because they don't know the whole situation. They're like, wait a minute, wasn't Charles the one who committed these crimes? This seems very inappropriate for the leader of Britannia because again, they don't think he did anything wrong at this point. His trek known to the circle, if that makes sense. It's good, by the way. Very, very awesome stuff. They're both like, yeah, this is kind of why are we doing this? And then Lelouch realized only Aaron what Geass does. Something that and now he all around. No complaints here. Kage's like, you can't use Geass now. Actual plan. Oops, I just whistled there, which like a swing. Actual plans, and okay, he wants to defend. And then here's the rule saying how it's done by population, who got the most votes. Essentially, until China was apparently split into 3 countries. I don't know when that happened, but apparently it did. So if Lelouch became in charge, he would have the most votes. So Shinkai tells me you have 2 options. You either only have 20% total, or you break up Britannia. Which is like, okay, before we get to that though, what is the most important thing you need to rule? Every time Lelouch asks you a question, you always know that some shit's about to get real. And she's like, okay, pride. And he goes like, I got a better answer. How about the will to destroy the world? And then Suzaku comes and they're like, oh my god, we didn't see this happening, even though we totally did. And she's like, oh my god, Suzaku's there. And Mimi's like, we gotta rescue Kage. And I'm like, of course you would say that. It's Mimi saying that he want to rescue Kage. It's so perfect. It's so perfect. He would say we gotta rescue Kage. Of course, the pedo would say that. Suzaku looks so awesome with the guns, and he was saying like, how you dare treat the Majesty with no respect. The whole army came as well. So they realized that Lelouch never had any intention to join the UFN, which he didn't. The whole plan was really just to capture them and use them as hostages. That was the whole point. He really wanted a dictatorship, as Rakshata. That was very true. Kallen's like, I'm going to go fight us, Kurorugi. And Shinkei's like, you can't. If you do this, you'll hurt the actual people themselves, the ambassadors. If they die, the UFN doesn't work anymore. It'll break apart. So you have to let it go. But she's like, I'm the only one who's not true, but you'll kill lots of innocent people if they do that, especially the leaders. and of course Tianzi, which he loves to protect. That's the destruction. Lelouch tells Kaga to we'll do the voting or not. Before that, I want to bring up one important thing about, again, nitpicking, but just I was thinking about this. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here's what's kind of weird to me. They know that if Suzaku was to appear at all, like they trusted Lucia's word was really stupid because he's a treacherous king at this point. They know that at this point. I mean, he betrayed them, right? So why didn't they have Kallen and the Gurren to intercept the landslide in midair, as opposed to having her escort Lelouch, which made no sense. I granted they want to have that scene. I get it. But from a practical standpoint, it would have made more sense to have Kallen ready to intercept Suzaku just in case and have maybe Toto or someone else get Lelouch there. I kind of might prefer that because, again, we don't get much interaction with those characters with Lelouch. But either way, we get the scene we do. So it's fine, but it didn't make any sense to me. Something else, too, which I didn't like. This is actually, I think, a minor nitpick, but no, a major nitpick, I should say. So when they're talking about his attempt to become emperor, why don't they mention about anything else that was going on? When he was Zero, like why he did what he did. I mean, this is almost, in a sense, your redo. Like 19 was, you did give Lelouch a chance to defend himself. You can still ask him now what went wrong during that time. Now, I know that there's other ambassadors there, but so what? Who cares? At this point, everyone knows everything or they don't. I don't know. They can ask a question about Zero and his goals. I know everyone can see the footage, which is why they can't ask him too many deep questions. At the same time, though, I mean, you could at least ask him something. To me, it was just a wasted opportunity, even a hint of something else. Only they forgot about the betrayal. Like, we'll just go and discuss the signing part. Or if you forget about the betrayal because Kage's like, you're a treacherous emperor. And I'm like, oh, because of or in general, like why exactly? And there's, I guess earlier on this episode, this discussion episode, Lelouch only conquering his own nation and make everyone support him within the nation. And as far as I know, he hasn't attacked the Fen yet. So the only treachery he has done so far, at least at this point, is what he did before. Everything he's doing now is pretty much standard Britannian rule. Like if he was treacherous, I guess so was Charles. But they're really speaking about those accusations. Anyways. This again, minor nitpicks. So then we have, so he says like we let the Democrat voting, even though I didn't vote at all because they captured because of Pendragon, so they never get to finish the voting. And Luch is like, we won't join the UFN anyways. We'll just have them. We'll take them as hostages. I think what happened later on in the story. I think it was around final turn. I think at that point, he actually forced him to sign the join the UFN. I think at this point, they ran out of time because of Pendragon being destroyed. I could be wrong there. Anyway, so Nina is rescuing rebels, and there's like people who want to take them out, the Black Knights. Again, how they know Nina made the Flay of War, why are they after her, I don't know. Information is never explained. Then we have this part where all these guys are pointing guns at them, and then Lloyd rescues them, and he goes, it went exactly as you planned, Master, or Emperor. They found Nina and Ribbles, and they're going to save them or something. I don't know. He used Geass on people to make them also point guns at them. Again, I wasn't sure if this whole plot to like capture Nina was created by Lelouch to make her join him or not. It wasn't. I was kind of confused by this. Anyways, then he gets a call from Suzaku that Pendragon was wiped out. Not Suzaku, Jesus. So many names. Schneizel is the one who did it. Cecile discusses how big this thing is, the range of it, and where it came from. They're like, "Oh God, where's?" There's Tiana, cute there. He goes, the explains like where they came from, the Cambodia agency, and then we got like, the biggest thing ever, where I was like, "Do you love forcing your will on others?" I'm thinking, "Are you any better, my friend? I love the character, but really?" And then he's like, "Listen, I'm not the one to rule Britannia. It's none. Lelouch freaks out. C2 freaks out. Everyone freaks out, and the episode ends. What a great end too! It was there was hints to her being alive, and they it was awesome. Oh, that's my kill count video. I'm not sure why that's here, but anyways, that's how the episode ends with the whole reveal that the whole reveal that he was still alive. And again, more Tamaki flip flopping like, "I told you we can't trust him. Like, you said we could trust him. Oh my God, you son of a gun." Anything else I have before I move on? Let's see. hmm Oh, there's a good burn where Schneizel says, Lucia's like, would you use, you want to go get your emperor? And Schneizel's like, that's a moot point because I didn't acknowledge you as emperor. I'm like, oh, burn. Geez, Schneizel really got him there, in my opinion. Yeah, Schneizel killed his whole family. I think I mentioned that, or didn't. Let's see. Um, Okage said that they're voting under duress or to be voting under duress, and I was thinking, is that actually a factor in this? Like, if they vote duress, does it still count? They never really explored that. She goes voting under duress, and Luke's like, they can still vote. I'm like, yeah, but they're going to die if they don't vote for you. I was thinking, like, okay, let's say they vote right, and they vote for no. So is Luke going to kill them then? Like, they never really explained that. I assume that was going to happen, but more is voting under kind of validating the whole thing. I guess when you have Flay Warhead, it doesn't really matter. Uh, yeah. Anyway, that's the episode. It's really good stuff. There is a lot of good things happening here. Lelouch is destroying the world and creating a new, which is the best part about the whole process here. I'll read some comments and I'll go to go to the picture drama for turn 22, which also was pretty good too. Yep. Can you imagine if you're working together from the beginning? That would have been really cool. Actually, I'll read some comments like this. I don't know. Something different. Different is good. Turn 22 is where the famous or infamous scene of Code Geass takes place. Lelouch and Kallen kiss. Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't go beyond that. Both plans are stupid with what they're with. I don't think so. I disagree with that, but that's fine. Your mic is lagging. It is still lagging now. My connection's been crappy for the last couple of weeks. Is it still bad? I purposely shoot. Let's see. Is it still lagging now? Here, let me close my Twitch stream. Let's see something. Oh wow, the quality is terrible. What the hell? It tells you excellent connection. That's not excellent. I'm lagging like crazy. Hell, my face is blurry. You can't even see me. Hold on. That's really bad. Um, if I'm still lagging, let me know. Actually, let me go to the most recent comment. Really, really important before I What's going on with StreamYards? I can't see the latest comment. It's like it's not showing it to me. Guys, before I get comments, am I still lagging? Because I'm looking at my current line and I have like a blurry face, but can you like? Is it basically in sync? Let me know if I'm going like, like that. Okay, it's good now. All right. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure. Okay. I accidentally sent the comments too early, but here's the full comment versus Suzaku versus Orpheus. One is a flow system. Probably I haven't seen a Gakuin Byakuin or the Byakuin. Sorry, isn't that the one the Goku Byakuin? Isn't the base of the Gurren like an early version? So I don't know about that one. Probably Suzaku. Jeremiah throwing low was epic. It was for sure. I guess the Go cause I'm pretty sure it fought 9% stronger than the Conquista. If it lived to command, he should have won. Um, didn't Orpheus fought against Olderin who had a stronger nightmare frame with the High Grail, so maybe Orpheus? I don't know. That was a standstill if I'm not mistaken. I heard some people Christmas that why does Lelouch just join the UN to make a peaceful world instead of turning against Requiem? Um well, the reason why he couldn't join the UN to make a peaceful world instead, like peacefully do it, I guess, because he still had to fight against Schneizel to get the Flare Warhead. I guess he chose the war path to it. And like I said in the beginning of the episode, he wanted to make people forget about what Euphemia did, and the way to do that was become even worse than Euphemia. That was the crux of being in the first place. So it was to conquer the world, but do it in a very aggressive and violent way, so people would forget about Euphemia. I think that's the reason why. Otherwise, I think you're right. He could just join the UFN peacefully, and things have been fine. Oh, Mike is better now. My connection keeps like dropping in and out. It's kind of frustrating. I don't know why. I'm literally plugging it into my router. It's really weird. But anyways, I think he always want to be my slave. I want to use it as a slave has no rights, must obey their master. Lucius, by his flaws, didn't want to enslave people indefinitely. You say that, but he did tell Zaku to live, and he also told that girl to keep marking crosses on the walls. So I don't know about that. I guess, in generally speaking, yeah. If you read the RE manga, when Lelouch talks to the UFN, there was all very pissed at him, telling him, "We'll have him pretend to join the UFN." Ogi, your face disgusts me. Both anime and manga, pretty much. Every time I see Emperor Lelouch Geass Britannia's lawyer, I'm always imagining Lelouch says Andrew Ryan's quote: "A man chooses, a slave obeys." Oh my god, I love Bioshock. That's one of my favorite games. I would love to play that on stream. I love that game so much. I find it interesting that this episode has a scene of Lloyd with the show's three main characters. It seemed like a fan service moment since he's a fan favorite character. Very true. It makes sense too because Lloyd was part of like Suzaku and they're working together. I didn't see anything wrong with it, but that's a fair point. Uh, Schneizel would have just nuked all of them, and the shitty ending is your Requiem. It's like the lesser of the two evils at that point. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, he would have nuked them all anyways, regardless if they joined or didn't join. Exactly. Pretty much. I know it's sad. Saku Bismarck's fight was awesome. Night Zero was 9-1. True. Sorry, don't forget stuff like this has massacre doesn't. I feel like Lou should just claim the cause of massacre. We're not supposed to get all the hate. Um, you know what? Maybe the truth is we never find out if people did forget about it or not. That the story never tells us if there was some kind of if they forgot or not. But that's a fair point. I mean, in the history books, Euphemia's thing will always be listed there. The question becomes, though, like, will people actually like think about that often? There's a bunch of awful things in history that we know about that was recorded, but do you remember it? You know, that's what's more important. It's a fair critique, though. I think it's cool how Bismarck had a Geass, but only felt he needed in emergency situations. True. I got a Geass and an army. What do you got? I got Zakarugi. Oh my god. The what's it called? The Avengers, funny stuff. We got a Hulk. Doesn't know about Geass. He could have given Euphemia the gun, but the people she still believes fired her own will. Well, they can't reveal Geass thanks to Deterrent's explanation. No one would believe them. Hello, Adrian. Adrian. I find it amusing how Schneider keeps Detard around. I don't even know if Detard was actually of any use. No, I don't think so. He was just bored. True, he does not need he doesn't need or a guy when it fly. Yeah, he just fired out without anyone being there. What's up? I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? You'd have to come up with something. Very true. I heard people bitch about it. Like, why does Bismarck explain the power of Saku? It's not just a code Geass. Every anime has this problem of opponents playing their ability. This is essentially the shown element issues with Code Geass. Basically, R1 didn't do this as much, but R2 just went full shonen. There were so many scenes, like turn 6 was one of the worst ones, turn 11 was pretty bad, where the characters just, no, turn 10, not turn 11, but the characters just do shonen stuff. I don't know. It's a shonen thing, it is what it is. As a franchise, it's already a franchise. There's a show coming out, I guess. I don't know when it's coming out. Hopefully sooner or later. Zero Capture, by the way, that's the show. Uh, let's see. I don't know, but that's kind of stupid though because like, did she really treat him the same as Charles? It's really strange to me. He's not the best MC. He's a good MC, the best one. People who are above him in my book. I mean, I can always discuss in our video if you guys are interested. I'll even save it there. Ashley Asura versus Yanro. Oh, definitely Ashley wins. I like Jean Ro, but Ashley's a way better than Frame Pilot. I hope it's the idiot part. I don't want her to be sipping to her brother. That's kind of gross. That's probably the canonical reason. I'm just saying there's like another. I think there's a deeper reason behind that. That's like a fan. Mine is a fan theory. That's the actual reason, right? He said he even told Kallen nostalgic, right? I'm just saying like it also kind of makes sense they want to go the long route because Kallen wanted to tell him something that was deeply emotional. And he interrupted her because obviously in broad daylight in public should not. That's not the place to talk about it. But that's true too, obviously. When Schneizel saw his power on Guilford, he didn't use direct contact. So how do you know it need exactly? That's my point. That's what I was saying earlier. The Black Knights have no idea how Geass works. Why would the contact lens be the right countermeasures? This is what I was saying earlier. You can't. 19 was such a failure because the Black Knights walked away with information that was never told to them. And that's why the Geass countermeasures make no sense because why would they think that was the option, you know? Fucking lagging. Great. Um, so stupid. They could have 19, and that's why I hate 19 so much because the episode itself had problems, but you see how in each episode afterwards, it just it affects everything in the story because again, the characters are acting like they know something they don't know. It's not good. In some ways, part hurts more than the others. Yeah, the whole Colin situation. Yeah, well, that's the thing, but that's not the point. You can't just like beg someone. There's bad. Can you fix it? I don't know how because my internet is like I can restart my modem, but it keeps. I'm looking at my connection. It keeps going in and out. It's really strange. This whole week was kind of weird with my connection. It's not going in and out. It's kind of frustrating. After Colin kisses Lelouch, Lelouch says goodbye, Colin. Colin walks away. Hooray, I finally kissed Lelouch. Suck at C2. Here, cock blocked. She's all smiling, tap dancing. Lelouch is dumbfounded. Yeah, but the joke's on her because C2 already had two kisses before. So, also, I'll say as much that Colin in that kiss scene, that was her first kiss. She said in stage 6 she was saving it for someone, and she saved it for Lelouch. So that's kind of a little fun fact there. Um, I'm just gonna read my one from the stream itself to see like how the lagging is going. Okay. Um. Oh, your audio has been like this since the beginning. Yeah, I hope it's better now. It's still like it keeps going in and out. It's frustrating because like it tells me on YouTube the connection is fantastic, but it tells me on here it's not. So I'm lost. Anyhow, I'm surprised no one saw this coming since that's something Lucia could do. They can't be dead if they can't be this dead. They know about Geass. I guess I don't know. You're right. Kallen asks Lucius to explain his action as Zero is politics. He might sway some of our allies to side with the Geass. I guess, but I would have loved to ask what was going on there, especially since she never got a chance to ask him. Right? I mean, other characters. Yeah, again, what the fuck? It tells me I'm okay here, but it tells me here I'm not okay. You're lying to me. Why you be lying? It keeps switching in and out. It's just so weird. Why is my connection unstable? I literally didn't move close to the router. I'm connected to the router. What the fudge? Okay. I don't know what's going on. I want to fix it probably next week. Hopefully the connection's decent. Anyways, I'm surprised. Where are we here? Kage didn't ask Lelouch to explain. Oh, pass the one too. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I have mixed feelings about the kiss scene. The scene itself was pretty good, but R2 did a pretty bad job at building a romance because it put Colin in a cage for the third season. Yeah, definitely, that's for sure. It wasn't not handled well. Tamaki said I knew he was a bad guy, implying saying, "Dude, shut the fuck." I know it's so annoying. Schneizel has killed more members of the Britannian royal family than Zero. He even destroyed the capital. Irony. I know it's true. Hopefully it's okay now. Maybe what's so weird too, not to go on our rant, but like StreamYards that I use for this, in case you guys didn't know I use StreamYards, it's supposed to handle most of the overhead. That's why you're paying a certain fee every month. So if my connection is bad, it's StreamYards fudging up, not me. It's really annoying. What am I paying for exactly? I could use OBS for free if I wanted to. Anyways, back to the comments. Not only trusting Snaz was pretty eyebrow raising, however, Snaz was really good at making him look a good guy. That's why the whole situation with her being a problem, because you have to basically show two elements of Nellie's rescue. Is one, her rescue, obviously, and two, why she agreed to a Schneizel over Lelouch, how she bought into his whole propaganda. And keep in mind also, when Schneizel rescued her, Charles was still alive, right? So you have that element to play with as well. There's a lot of things going on. Plus, Charles never even talked to Nellie either when he said he was going to at the end of R1. So, I don't know. A lot of really do well there. Wait, how'd you survive? Nellie's confused. Actually, that's a good question. How did I survive? Schneizel turn. Plot convenience, shitty writing. Okay. I have mixed feelings about the kiss. I like the beginning because it's more like R1, Colin, her motives. But R2 didn't give her romance much time to develop because they were locked her up. Pretty much. Colin Kallen also went from letting Lelouch get shot to death to kissing him after a mouth of not seeing him. Her leaving Lelouch is based on the fact that he rejected her feelings. Yeah, basically, you could argue that his whole motivation to kill him is probably because of that. It's like he's evil. Excuse me, he's evil, but also he rejected her. He rejected her. It's true. Look, she's a scorned woman. She's very angry. And that actually is true to Kallen's character because she always acts out of emotion. So I think that's pretty consistent, even if it's not great. Uh, well, she was loyal at some point, but true. Yeah, I don't know. Was he? I don't remember that. I'll take a look later, but I don't remember that. It wasn't very brief. But do we see it? Well, but how does Valletta know, though? But here's the question, though: how does Valletta know that Geass worked like that? And again, even if she told him how it worked, why would I believe Valletta exactly? Like if there's, I mean, look at the example, right? Let's say we're in a room, right? And some I tell you, a guy I know can shoot fire out of his hands, and you're like, well, that's really cool. How does he do it? Well, he does X, Y, or Z or something. Like, oh, that's awesome. But you can't, but like, you can't visibly see the fire, but it leaves an effect on you afterwards, and you're like, wait, but how? And you believe what I say? Can I explain to you how the power works? Like, he looks at you, he raises the hand up, the fire comes out. And so what you guys do is, as a result, you put you wear a suit to protect against the fire. But the problem is you never actually saw it in action, so you can't believe any of this. Now, granted, hypnosis is a little more believable than shooting fire out of the hand. But the point of the analogy is that I don't care if someone explains the mechanics of how something works or doesn't work. If I don't see it in action, especially again, a supernatural power, we're not talking about something based in reality. This is something that's not based in reality. Since the whole show is grounded for the most part, nightmare frames are a little, but you can suspend your disbelief on nightmare frames. It's like an extension of an advanced weapon. But Geass is some supernatural ability. So you show action for me to believe it actually is a viable, it actually works. So let's saying how it works or doesn't work is worthless to me. I need footage. I want maybe even first person, see in plain sight how it works. And because they don't do that, it doesn't work for me. I don't care what Valletta says. And plus, why do they trust Valletta for? She's a Britannian soldier. I would never believe Valletta at all. I found weird that people were shocked by Yuffie committing a massacre. Clovis destroyed Shinjuku, Cornelia wiped the Saitama, and Charles caused a world war. Were they shocked by it? I don't know about the shock part. And by the way, what you just mentioned here is why 23 makes no goddamn sense when we get there with Cornelia leaving Schneizel. We'll get to that later, but this point you just made is why that doesn't make any sense. I told you he was on shut the heck up, Tamaki. Yeah, basically. Alderaan saved me because of plot. Pretty much. The scene with Audacious was like 3 seconds long. I understand why you missed it. He was running around with a bunch of people who are all dressed the same. Okay, fair enough. How can the Black Knights trust Valletta? Exactly. Why would they trust her? I just lost him. If Valletta knew how Geass works, why not tell Ogi and you tell him late and Ogi trusts his wife? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Instead of knowing what if Schneizel revealed Lelouch's long lost sister, Lady Lelouch? Yep, that's the real character we don't see much. That needed more development. Blood knows because she was intelligent and worked with Raul. That explains. Do you need every little detail? Did she present information to them? Someone mentioned, and I forgot who it was in a previous stream, that she might have brought the information with her that showed how the Geass power worked or something like that. I think someone mentioned that. But when she went to go to encounter Ogi, she brought a simple bag, and the information was not shown out. And yes, you do. This is the one time. No, this is one of the times where you have to show how this works. I'm sorry, you have to do that. Again, this is a supernatural ability no one's ever seen before, or even thought about it ever. Okay, You have to explain how that works. You have to spoon feed it to everybody. Okay, when we decide, I'm being a little condescending here, so I do apologize, but like think about a court case, right? And this is because Lelouch was on trial at this point. He wasn't present for his trial, but he was on trial. Okay, they were going to condemn him to death, and they condemned him to death on information that was hypothetical information. If Valetta said, "Listen, here are the documents on how Geass worked. We were watching it for weeks. Here's footage, information, personal assessments, whatever. Document upon document how Geass was," then I'd say, "Okay, that works." That has to be explained because you're putting Lelouch to death on something you never even proved. Okay, I know that justice is like, and Bertan probably isn't the greatest, but that was basically a trial for the Lelouch, and no evidence was actually presented that was viable. So yeah, you have to do that. And what's wrong with her? Like, I understand like why that'd be a bad thing if Les like, look, I worked for the OSI for a while. Here's how the Geass works. Here's documents proving it works. Here's how you counteract it. Is those like, would it really kill them to put like an extra piece of dialogue with Valetta and have like just documents showing this? I don't know. Like, to me, like that's something they overlooked. I don't agree with the counter argument, but hey, we'll go back and forth if you want, but I don't agree. Trust but verify. Oh my god, that's funny. It's actually pretty funny. Um, no question anything. That's the problem. I wouldn't trust Ogie at all at this point. If he was with Velez this whole time. Even Dieter had like his own feelings too. I can't wait for Kallen versus Zaku to find how Kallen won. It's the best night frame pilot. Are you saying you don't agree with my assessment? Look, Gladiator King and I went back and forth on my last, and honestly, it really depends on what you mean by victory, uh, and how you evaluate stuff. I just simply went on the canonical answer. Did Colin actually beat Suzaku in the traditional sense? Probably not. But I'm going on what the story tells us, and that's basically like what Gino said and what Suzaku said. But yeah, there's that's definitely a good question though. Versus question: Raw versus C2. Raw versus C2. Vincent Lancelot Frontier. It's a good question. I think. I don't know actually. I think C2 has had more experience with Nightmare Frame than Rollo has, but I think the Lancer Frontier is a weaker Nightmare Frame than the Vincent, or it's the same level. I think. He can't use Geass on her. You know, I think maybe C2 wins that one, but I would have to think about it. It's a good question though. Where's my mouse? Okay. Even though Dieter was a shadiest member of the Black Knights, he often acted the most reasonable and made the best points. Agreed. All right, let me move on to the picture. Really good. So let me go up real quick. You were supposed to get. Now, this picture, by the way, this is one of the best ones in the story. This actually is my favorite one, and it's a complete bias, obviously. So, in this picture drama, basically you have C2 and Cecile talking about Suzaku and Lelouch and why they're doing all this stuff. And this picture drama, in my opinion, reveals that Cecile had actually a bigger role in the story they planned on, but ultimately they didn't deliver. Also, I like how the C2s are both talking to each other because you have Cecile Kurumi and you have C2, obviously. So they had the two C2s talking, which I kind of liked. And they're talking about the whole event will go well. They have some the drink wants to talk to C2. And basically what we learned is that Cecile essentially had like certain men that she was in love with in her life. And unfortunately those guys always had more important things than her. Which, I mean, how do I put this? Is that really true though? I mean, Cecile is a very interesting character. Again, this is all facts, obviously, objective truth. Cecile is the best character, female-wise, in the story. You know, she's got so many different things she does. Hobby, she's very smart, good tactician. She looks good. Are there really guys who are like, yeah, I'm gonna leave her to go? Like, it's just like, really? I would have seen more of this because they basically made Sato from Evangelion only, but Cecile's not a degenerate, and Misato is, and Misato even she's a degenerate or something like that. But the idea of how she fell in love with Suzaku, like how Misato fell in love with Shinji, although Shinji and Suzaku is at least 17, it's still weird, but Suzaku is at least older. The whole character of Cecile had, I think, do more with this character because this whole backstory about how she had a boyfriend who left her, and every time she falls in love with another guy, again, they have more important things than her. It's just a really sad tale, and for someone who has gone through a lot of heartbreak in her life, I guess Cecile like doesn't really show much of that sadness. Although she does drink a lot and she plays so and does gambling, so maybe she actually is secretly depressed about it. Again, they gave her a lot of Misato's traits, but they made her a side character. In my opinion, Cecile deserved better than that. Obviously, deserved better than that. So they're talking about like who they want to be with, or like did she love Zaku, and she like yeah she does. Um, which again, the weird part about that though is like in the picture dramas, they made it pretty clear that Cecile was starting to fall in love with Hazaku. Like even the beach one, she was embarrassed when he said she looked good in the outfit. But in the anime, there's like one scene I could point to where Lloyd's like, "Aren't you treating Suzaku a little more than just a worker or something like that?" And Cecile's like, "I'm not sure about that." So besides that one scene in the original anime, there's no scenes where they even imply there could have been something going on. I mean, when Suzaku died, you don't see Cecile crying or something in a corner when he died, right? He was like she's literally in jail now. Granted, maybe because wait a minute, hold on, let me roll that back. But she knew he was going to die. Never mind, she wouldn't be crying anyway. Maybe to save kayfabe, like pretend cry, but yeah, because she knew it was part of the plan that he was going to fake his death, so she wouldn't be crying. That makes sense. But then again, why would no one call her on it? Yeah, whatever. Okay, I'm not even gonna like overthink this. Anyways, back to the picture. Cecile can't find a guy to stay with her, which is really sad because she's actually a really nice person. She also said, by the way, if there's another woman, she would fight them. So was in like, let's say Euphemia doesn't die and Suzaku and her are a couple. Would Cecile fight Euphemia for Suzaku if that was the case? A fun alternate OVA what if scenario. And then when she asks, C2, do you love Lelouch? And she says basically, well, if I was here, then probably not. I assume that means that if she was in love with Lelouch, he wouldn't have her here because you want to keep the ones you care about at a distance. But I'm not sure what she meant by that. Also, these are really nice things she wears in her hair, but we never see it again for some reason. They both are supporting their men through the path, which I kind of like. So again, it's nice picture drama. It's more just people having like fun talking about life and stuff, and then we see and like, oh god, women are drinking. This is bad. And she's like, are you serious, Lloyd? It's really funny. So Lloyd and Jeremiah were talking about the girls are talking about something. They're just discussing about like the whole plan and what Suzaku and Luke's doing. And they also mentioned how like Jeremiah and Lloyd have discussed the past, how they're both old guys compared to Suzaku and Lelouch. It's nice stuff. We don't normally see these characters interact because it's usually about the main MC, the MCs of the story. But it's good to have like the minor characters have some moments. Besides C2, she's not a minor character, but everyone else is. And they're just talking about life, and they have like this toast. So uh, he says Jeremiah to the king. She goes honorable knight, which is Suzaku. Lloyd says, "Oh, right, the Albion," and C2 is like for the Requiem. And then we see Suzaku and Lelouch coming out, and they say, "Are you done talking?" And they go, "Yes." Now, obviously, Cecile's on Suzaku's side, C2 is on Lelouch's side, and they're getting for Japan, and that's how it ends. It's a great picture drama. We don't learn much about anyone except Cecile, and given what we learned, she should have had a bigger role in the story. Her backstory was rushed, but there clearly were things going on in the background we needed. Yeah, good stuff. I love this picture drama for obvious reasons. Yeah, the two CCs. The Frontier was weaker than the actual Lancelot. It's just a Philosopher and it's a pick. So then probably the Vincent then, if that's the case. I saw an article on Reddit that said originally Cecile was supposed to be Suzaku's new girl in R2, but he had to drop the due to the soft reboot. What article is that? Could you link that? Or what's the website? And I can look it up or something. I actually legitimately want to read that. I'm curious because that seems reasonable to me because that's why I thought they were going with this. Yeah, it is kind of weird. I don't disagree with that. I think it's very weird. I think it's because Schneizel just knows how to like entice anybody, but that's true. Pretty much. um, that's true. I don't know why, but for some reason, the way they handle with C2 and Lelouch, it just kind of made more sense. But you're right. I mean, C2 is technically 100 plus years old, and Lelouch is like 17. Although she has the body of a 16-year-old, so she's still like mature physically around the same age. It's weird. I'm not gonna lie, Lelouch and C2. It's like if you think about it from one perspective, it's great, but from another perspective, it's kind of weird. So again, that's all like opinions on that one. It's difficult to say, but you're right. There's definitely some oddities about that. Um, I think the reason why Suzaku and Cecile is like not as good or kind of weird because there is an age gap, but because Cecile actually does age, she is a lot older than Suzaku. I mean, she's got and she clearly shows you in this picture drama. She's gone through a lot of experience in her life that Suzaku hasn't, so she's a little more mature. She's maturely older than him, so it's kind of weird because again, age is one thing, but maturity is another. That's the whole problem in the first place. I don't want to get into this topic too much, but that's why it's kind of weird. But but again, just in numbers alone, yeah, it's if one is acceptable, why is on the other? I think there's more to it than that. There's nuance. Is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, I want a bigger drama where C2 Pizza Girl and Lloyd Earl Pudding and Jeremiah Orange Boy make it happen. Okay, now we will go on to we'll now go on turn 23. So let's do it. Let me load it up real quick. All right, now the count for turn 23 actually begin. So the guards are talking about when it starts that like Pendragon destroyed and how well during time Flaya's left. They were saying what they're seeing rumbling, and Jeremiah's like, stop with the rumors. Then Psycho's like, it's all true, every one of it. So it's this is important, by the way, because Psycho just got back, and again, we're gonna find out exactly what was with that. Oh, hold on, 1 second. The photos are in opposite order for some reason. There we go. Okay. So that was the wrong order. Okay. So we see, so like I mentioned before, Psycho wants to help talk to Lelouch because of what happened with Schneizel. Meanwhile, Lelouch is talking to none about what happened, and he can't believe she's alive, which is understandable. And she was saying how you used Schneizel destroyed Pendragon, and he's like, yeah, but and you know that, and you still join her, and she's like, well, you use Geass. How is that any better? And that's why I posted that poll because I wanted to see what you guys thought. Do you think that Geass is worse than Schneizel's is the Flare Warhead? And why I said Schneizel's head. Is Geass worse than Schneizel's head? You decide. No, the Flare Warhead. Now, again, in this conversation, Nelly doesn't even explain what happened, how she was rescued. That all she said was Schneizel rescued her, thanks to Schneizel. Very vague stuff. But technically, the Glinda Knight saved her, so weird things. He goes like, were you doing this whole thing for me? The lying and the whole Requiem, the whole just being zero and launching her playing against Britannia, killing Clovis, Yuffie, all that. You? No way. Lelouch keeps kayfabe and goes, I hate you and despise you, and I'll crush you if you get in my way. I hate the whole stock elite. Brilliant stuff there. Lelouch basically kept face the whole time. And then Schneider's like, that must have been awful, Nelly. Just awful. And then eventually she was like, you did tell everyone on Pendragon to leave, right? Of course. We gave them due notice to leave. I'm thinking, wait a minute. But how, though? That thing fired like 24 hours to leave. Imagine you're in Pendragon, right? And I say, guys, I'm gonna blow up the whole city. You have about 24 hours to leave, and you're thinking, my whole life's gonna say, why are you doing this? Like it's Nelly's really gullible because no one should have believed that. At the very worst, or best, I should say, you should have asked Schneizel, hey, can I call Odysseus or Catherine or Genevieve to see if they're still alive? And she's like, hmm, nope. That's what should happen. The Cornelia is like, oh my god, you killed everybody. That was the meme, by the way, of yesterday. Like, when you really committed genocide. Because she basically tell Schneizel, can I talk to you for a moment? And also, Nelly wants the Flay Warhead to fire on people because she wants to keep the burden. She can't fight. She'll use the flares to kill the Lelouch's troops. Schneizel even said, by the way, it was like, I even told him about the flayers, hoping he would surrender. I'm like, won't you make everyone surrender then? Like, again, does Nelly not realize the ramifications of what Schneizel is saying? I don't know, she's kind of dumb here. But then again, she's kind of young and inexperienced, so it makes sense. Anyhow, Lelouch just goes on a freaking rampage. He's like, are you serious? Why did you tell me about Nelly? I'm not a god. He just loses it. He's just like, Schneizel totally owned him here. And it's like, listen, okay? I don't care about it. If you don't do this, the record will be meaningless. So he throws him to the ground, and they continue on. It's great. Like, this just shows you that Sayako and Lelouch had worked together from day one. Man, what could have been accomplished? Lelouch is just so upset that Nelly is alive. Like, he thought she was gone, and he would still have reason to live, but now that she's back, it's just it's very interesting. He tells us C2 that he is the sword and she is the shield and your accomplices. And she's like, accomplices? Which again is one of my proofs that I think that C2 no longer saw Lelouch as an accomplice, but as a friend and possibly a lover. Well, most likely a lover at this point. Now, Nina was rescued by Lloyd in the last episode from the people that Code Geass to help him out. And they look at the destruction of the Flare Warhead, and it was way bigger than one Toyo Selman, which means that Schneizel removed the limiter, which is another way for Nia to like redeem herself by helping the Eliminator, which will destroy the Flare Warhead. Then we get this whole scene with Cornelia and Schneizel. It's extremely baffling to me on so many levels because, as I said like 1,000 times about Cornelia, I'm not angry that she went against Schneizel and this is his plan about how to handle people and their issues. That when did she change her mindset about what right and wrong do things? Because what she's doing is a version of what Charles was doing, was conquering the whole and ruling the life force. Charles literally said, inequality is a good thing, equality is a bad thing, the strong survive, all this stuff. And Cornelia has been following Charles for a long time in the military. She's done a lot of awful things. She's killed innocent civilians herself. She did it in the Saitama ghetto. And I'm sure there's plenty of other examples as well where she's killed innocent people. So no matter how you look at this, when did she decide that, by the way, killing innocent people is bad, conquering the world is bad, ruling by force is bad? She has been supporting an empire, has been doing this for years, and she's been on the front lines helping them out. So what is it about Schneizel's plan in particular that makes her like question things? Billions of people? How many people has the Britannian Empire killed up to this point? Probably not billions, but millions. And again, the plan was to conquer the whole world. If Cornelia wasn't injured, she would have been fighting the Chinese Federation. So the more you look at it, this makes no sense to me. Now, what Schneizel says about like people in general, how they want to be controlled and how they want the problems to go away, which is again, what Schneizel is saying on some level is true. I'm not even going to argue with that because people are kind of sheepish in a certain way. I'm not going to go into the philosophy behind Schneizel in this live stream. What pisses me off about it is just Cornelia's response doesn't make any sense to me because she's been supporting an empire that has been believing this stuff from the very beginning. The only difference between Schneizel and Charles at this point is that Schneizel is just speeding up the process with a super weapon, and Charles was doing the same thing with the Nightmare Frames. But both of them were basically, they both had the same goals. They want some kind of perpetual state of now or some perpetual state of the past. But basically, they didn't want things to keep going. They wanted things to stay the way they were or go back to something else. And they're both using really bizarre, like, evil methods, too. Cornelia's so strange to me. Like, I wish they had showed her, like, she should have had, like, the Schindler moment, where he sees the girl in the red dress and he realizes that the Germans are bad people, the Nazis are evil. They should have had something like that in this situation where Cornelia sees how evil Britannia is and realizes that, you know what? I don't like these people anymore. I can't do it. And if you want to say it's this scene here, that's not acceptable because she literally was going to support him earlier on with the plan. Don't change because they're bombing all nations. There isn't civilians, even though, again, Cornelia has been doing that for years. They was not handled well at all. This is from the battle early on. I remember I was watching the episode. I was like, man, this. In case you guys don't know anything about like stretching and stuff, what Kallen is doing here is like a side note. This is called a cat stretch in yoga or stretching in general. And what's funny is that Kallen is very flexible because this is not easy. Her spine to arch like this, you got to be really flexible. Like, she must do a lot of yoga because normally your body does not contort like this. Obviously, it was fan service, purposely done. But still, like, I just hate how they it's so stupid. I was like laughing when I looked at that. Anyhow, back to this conversation. Schneizel was telling Cornelia about again his plan, and she's like, forcing people on peace, not peace, whatever. And I'm like, but you believed that for years, and then she shoots her, but doesn't finish her off, which is again proof that if he wanted to kill the his family members, he would have done it with like no hesitation since he took out Cornelia. And he tells her, "You disappoint me," and I'm like, Cornelia disappoints him. Why? Did he think she was going to support this plan? I don't know. It's weird. Poor Cornelia, right? She breaks her arm and she gets shot at. She just can't, like, the story really hates her. It's like, if you look at like Shirley and Cornelia, Shirley gets Geass multiple times and just can't catch a break. Cornelia constantly gets physically damaged throughout the series. They both just can't catch a break. It's like really sad. All right, we get to this conversation between Sayako and Jeremiah, and this conversation is done because Sayako says that Schneizel there was a decoy plane and they were rescued, and that's it. And I'm thinking, wait, hold up. You escaped. Where were you? Where was Nunnally? Why was she with Schneizel? How did Schneizel capture you or get you? Like, what happened? Nunnally said, thanks to Schneizel, they lived. Sayako says they tricked us. Which was it? Were you tricked or rescued? We now know they were rescued. Do you see why this is so confusing to me? Is there a reason why they couldn't be specific about what happened here? Why would you be vague about this? This isn't like some minor situation that happened. Not only being alive is a very important part of the story. So why would you like show us what happened? And I discussed that in the video. I won't retread it there, but just kind of. C2 encounters Lelouch in one of the best conversations in the entire story, and one of their best moments about how he must keep going on for everyone who's died in the story. Of course, he doesn't mention Shirley, which is kind of whatever, or Roll either for that matter. And she tells him that yes, we must keep going to the end. And I would say at this point, if they're not like a couple, well, I don't know what to tell you because they pretty much are. Again, the whole age gap, I got to think about that. I don't know why it never bothers me about it in this story, but it's a fair point. Meanwhile, we got like this part of the episode where you see like they're kind of interacting, like almost like a montage between this conversation between Lelouch and C2, and then like the preparation before the battle. So Nia's eating one of Cecile's foods, and Lloyd's like, "What is?" It's kind of funny. The last frontier is made. We see the candles that were lit for Euphemia and other people as well. Lelouch is walking away. We see the forces all preparing for battle. Shao sees that Shao, I believe her name is, sees that Shike is bleeding out of his mouth. He never is confirmed to be like, what's it called, dead in the story, but apparently he's dying, I guess. The forces again all gather up. Here's a funny scene. So Shiba sees that Toto is walking away, and I'm thinking, honey, you're in a hangar. There is no one around. Just tell him how you feel. This might be your last chance. You could both die in this battle. There are flares involved. Those are weapons of destruction. Come on. This is your last. Tell him how you feel. And of course, he doesn't. Who are you smiling at? It's unfortunate, but that's how it goes. Then how he's talking to children. I'm thinking to myself, what is the context of? No, seriously, what is the context here? He's talking to a bunch of kids. Is he encouraging them to support their cause? Is he trying to get the motivation? Like, what is going on in this scene? The rest, at least, I kind of understand what's happening, but this one is just, okay. Oh, and me, I don't have the image, but he's pulling the cart of that thing that Kallen was wearing in turn 5. Oh, this part here is kind of right. I understand like Leila was kind of scared, but she's holding herself like this. Like you can't see from my angle, but she has her hand on her belly, and Ogie's like this. And I'm like, dude, this is really weird. It's like they're in a corner of a room of the ship, and it's like a dark corner of the room, and he's like looking at her with intensity, and she's like terrified. I mean, like it's. I understand the context because he wants her to be safe, so stay on the island, don't come with us, all that stuff because you got a baby coming, whatever. But out of context, like this was like some like domestic thing going on here. It's like they're fighting, or it's. I will not head this way because it makes it risky or secretive or wrong. But it's none of those things. Like everyone knows they're dating, everyone knows they're a thing. Like why is it so smoke and mirrors and kind of uncomfortable? I felt uncomfortable watching this scene. This is the first, which is made from the game, which is kind of cool. This is good too. So Gino's like, Colin, she's like, that's great. I'm thinking to myself, Gino, let me bring it to you, buddy. All right. I know you like Colin. Okay. I know you want to be with her, but Colin is not interested. It's a very one-way ship. This is probably the only ship in Code Geass I can think of where it's like a guy who's one side of a girl who's not interested in him. He's tried so hard to nice guy Colin to be to uh, prioritize her, help her, be with her. Every case me, every angle to get to become in a relationship with Colin, and she keeps friend zoning him. It's sad, but to be fair, she's not interested. I mean, her response is like literally like, okay. Also, I like how Colin's wearing her older outfit here from like the first season. Nice little callback there. But say Gina, you gotta back it off. I think in the last page drama when they like see each other and ask for, I think kind of away from the whole potential shipping. Now, I'm not against them being a couple in the story. I'm just saying from the original anime, you can really tell that Colin is friend zoning Gino, which it is what it is. I guess it's kind of sad. Finally, we're done with all the antics. We get into the battle, the best battle ever seen. Again, I don't know that, but it's a good battle. And Lelouch's speech here is so good about like, we got nothing to fear. This world will change the world. We'll crush Schneizel, destroy the Democles. My name is the future of this world. That Thor is the same one that kills him too. Foreshadowing. And then we see Leila and Nina are working together on the Eliminator. Good stuff. Schneizel's speech is also equally as epic. And what I find funny is that in movies, they don't like. Why would you show speech? It's so good. He talks about like how Lelouch is evil and is turning me to wipe him out, and he spread malice to the world, and I'm like the good person. Like Lelouch is like, I'm not a good person. We're conquer the world, and Shadow's like, look, I'm a good guy here. Okay, I may have weapons of mass destruction, but I'm not Lelouch. They're like, okay, fair point. That's basically what it is. It's like you have weapons of mass destruction, true, but I'm not Lelouch. All right, fair point. You win. You're the better guy. Anya wants to wipe out Lelouch and Suzaku. Even though again, I'm still kind of confused about her mental state. Even okay, here's something funny too. Even like she Anya out there because of her mental problems, and Schneizel like and Schneizel said like yes because we need all the people we can get. And then Can's like, did you say you're gonna fix her memories? And I'm thinking, how is Schneizel gonna fix her memories? It was Geass that fudged it up. Does he have an anti-Geass device that we're not aware of? I have no idea. I would have loved to have seen that actually. It's one of the things where it's like, wait, how did whatever? It's a minor thing, but I noticed that in the episode. Anyhow, calls him. And this is very important, by the way. In this conversation, when Luke calls Schneizel, um, it's a public channel, so everyone can go and join the Skype call because she can join the Skype call. By the way, I don't have the image of it here, but he did join the call. The reason why I bring this up is because in turn 18, when Suzaku called Lelouch about the flare warhead, he only called Lelouch. He should have called everybody. Or if Schneizel was trying to warn everyone, he should have called everyone. This is proof right here that Schneizel could have done a direct call to them and say, hey, by the way, we have flare warheads. Just FYI, let's not have a fight or something. And the fact that the Black Knights did follow on that in that whole discussion is why it's bullcrap. Lelouch is telling Schneizel right now that I have the hostages. Okay, don't fight me or they die. And then she gets like, oh, we can't use the flares now. Basically, Lelouch's whole plot, his whole plan, by the way, so they couldn't use flares in the battle. That was the whole reason behind taking the hostages. So if Schneizel wanted to really warn the Black Knights, he could have warned the Black Knights about it. So that's why the whole like whole about it. And the other thing too, I'm on that little thing there too about this. He got a call from Suzaku that he has a flayed warhead. Why wouldn't he, I don't know, show footage of it in action or even like schematics of how it worked? I mean, Lelouch honestly all the right to not believe in this weapon considering Suzaku betrayed him earlier. So, it's not really unfair for him to do that. See, what I like about this scene here that Lelouch not only does they have the hostages, he literally shows them, right? It's proof. He could say, like, I have the hostages and not show them, but the fact that he's showing them adds another element of ability where it's like, yeah, here's a public channel. I have the hostages. Do not fire flayas. I just don't understand why Eternity could not have been constructed in that way. Or better yet, if I do that in 2018, why did Black Knight not say, hey, why didn't you show a public thing of what was going on there? Contacting Lelouch is nice, but you should have told everybody so we can discuss it as a team. That's what bothers me about the whole situation. Anyhow, rant over. So then Shinkei's like, listen, we hostages. And she's like, fine, but give me command of all the troops. What's funny about this is that later on, when they start firing flayas against Lelouch, Shinkei's not like, wait, I thought you said you wouldn't do that. And it never comes up. But anyhow, the forces are about to go into battle, and the games begin, essentially. And what I love about this whole scene is that you just see Schneizel and Lelouch, they're telling their forces to go back and forth about what position to take up. When Kato discusses the two characters, Lelouch in general, one of the videos, he did a good job analyzing like the different positions each of the characters take and the strategies they use. Now, one that's kind of strange to me, and maybe it's just the way this is drawn, it looks like Schneizel brought Lelouch did. Kind of weird because he could have brought way more to fight him if he was concerned with being outnumbered. Now, something else too is weird about this episode, and maybe someone can tell me this because I'm a little. When Schneizel starts firing flare warheads, Lelouch's forces are not automatically wiped out. That means he brought a lot of forces into battle. Now, when you look at these actual dots, now granted, you can't exactly know for sure what this means, but it's like what, maybe 100 or 1,000 dots. So unless you bring like millions of soldiers, would they all get wiped out after a couple of flare warheads? Maybe I'm misunderstanding that, or is the battlefield like so stretched out that like the flare warhead covers distance that's equivalent to like, I don't know, the Tokyo settlement or even Pendragon, which is basically a whole city. So what's odd is that this is a massive battle, but the amount of troops on screen are kind of small considering how big it is. Like there's a couple games, a video game, what's it called? I have it here actually. Yes, the Commander. Let me show you guys. Yeah. So in this game here, Supreme Commander, you guys can see that. This is, by the way, this is an amazing game. It's one of my favorite RTSs of all time. In Supreme Commander, a lot of the battles are spaced out. There's like thousands of troops. The conflicts take forever. Even firing nuclear weapons like won't, or big powerful weapons. I'm not sure if it's nukes or not. It's been a while since I played this, but there's like really powerful weapons that give you the edge in battle. But you got to fire several rounds on them because there's just so many troops. It's kind of like doing StarCraft as well. I also have StarCraft as well. Of course I do. The point I'm trying to make is that was the scale the same here? Because I don't see a lot of forces here. Those flares were firing over and over again, and people in Lelouch still had plenty of troops to fight. So I feel like they should have had more units on screen during this battle because it is basically with Elementor, it has the range of a whole city like Pendragon. That's a capital, by the way. So it's not a small city. And Lelouch is fighting Schneizel over the Tokyo settlement. So what can follow is that that's not a lot of space to contain the troop space out. So it's were they fighting over all of Japan? Like, is the whole battlefield just the entire country of Japan? Because when you see earlier on, I'll go back one second. again, this might be a nitpick. I don't know, but like even here, like again, it's not a lot of troops, um, relatively speaking. But if you go back to here, right, all the forces are gathering up, and they go to Japan, which is right here. They're fighting this one little area, but like the flay has insane range. So how is that even working? It's to me, they should have had more space during the battle. It should have taken place over a much larger area with way more troops. So when the flares are being fired, it's meaningless. Well, it's not meaningless, but it wouldn't be as effective because I'm watching. I'm thinking, wait a minute, how are they now about that one flare warhead? They're so close together, and it didn't seem like he brought a lot of troops with him. I mean, in the very beginning of the episode, not this one, 22, I believe, he brought like 1,000 troops. They would not survive one flare warhead shot. Now, I did some of the math on the kill count for this because that video is coming up soon. It took me a long time because there's so many things I have to figure out. But these, where are they? These airships here, these carrying class cruisers, as I mentioned in the kill count or the best number frame statistically video, these can carry 1,000 people, a bunch of them, right? I think there's like 50, 100, who knows? I think every dot here. We'll go back further. Every dot here, I think, is one of those troops. I don't know. Okay, in my kill count, I kind of guessed a little bit here and there, but I think each one of these is a carrying class cruiser or an airship. Again, they don't really tell you. So if each one's 1,000 troops, then sure, he might have brought more than 1,000 soldiers. But the problem is they're not spaced out well. If a flare fired right here, they all would die out. That's why I'm confused about it. Like how there should have been more troops, and the battle should have been on a much larger scale. All right, that's a weird one, but like I wish they had made the bell. I'm trying to say, okay. Anyhow, back to the actual thing. Long rant. Back to the actual battle itself. So again, you see, there's not many troops. It's a small amount of area. So now they're fighting, right? They're moving the troops around, and Lelouch is like, okay, counterattack, move the units there, move them, and basically they don't actually do anything. And Tommy's like, what's happening? No one's fighting. And Total's like, wrong. Matters are doing it themselves. I'm like, Tommy, shut the fudge up. Anyways, so eventually he has the troops around Lelouch there. He tried to trick him a little bit. And it's good back and forth stuff. And then we see that Nina's like, we got to finish up quickly because otherwise they're going to, attack them soon. By the way, this guy's helping them out. I'm going to guess some companion forces that have like he's crunching numbers over here. I guess these guys are scientists as well. So these are things you gotta love about this battle, right? So Lelouch, if you think about the odds against him here, it's kind of interesting. He might have is my connection bad? A bit of a lag, I think. My actual live stream, like from YouTube perspective. I guess it's okay. If it's bad, well, let me know. Anyhow, so Lelouch he only has like one 7th generation frame that's like not a besides the Zig, which is a Lancelot album. But Schneizel has the Tristan divider, the element, Zangetsu, and so it's really unfair on Lelouch's side. In my opinion, okay, if you just sent out those 4 nightmare frames, you can probably wipe out half the troops within a couple hours because the Gurren OP anime, it can wipe out practically all. Zangetsu is no way either. The Shenhu is powerful. The divider can now take on and defeat a 9th generation almost. If they just sent those frames out there, it would have been. Also, why are they using the Siegfried? I know I said it before, but like really, the Siegfried was so OP as an nightmare frame. I don't know. It would be cool if they had the old one in battle because that thing was just so stupidly overpowered. Kallen basically uses the wings to fly. I think it's the first we ever. She always uses the wings to fly. It's the first we ever see it like actually in action, which is kind of cool. And they're all just wiping out their forces. Like there's no tomorrow. Like they're all being wiped out because again they don't have the ability to counter those nightmare frames. There's a funny meme where it shows like Kallen's forces. It shows Kallen like chasing after them and they're all running away. That's not what's actually happening. She's actually going too far out, but still I like that. Again, look at this scene here. I read it before, but like look at this. there's not a lot of troops here. There should be like hundreds of thousands of nightmare frames with like maybe hundreds of the carrying class cruisers. It just seems like there's not much for a flail level of a battle. Like it just there's not enough troops for that to make sense. Anyways, Kaguya is of course terrified during the battle. They're all trying to take out Lelouch and it's over. Oh, I forgot to mention one other thing. Agreed to join Schneizel, the Black Knights, if they would kill Lelouch. I was thinking, kill Lelouch. I don't know, maybe capture him, stop him, put him on trial, kill Lelouch. That's a little extreme, don't you think? But whatever. That's what happened there. And this is after, by the way, the carrying class cruiser, one of their dreadnoughts was blown up by the Shenhu, which, by the way, why he has like so many kills. He wiped out 2 of those in the series, which is like, yep, we're screwed. So he launches the he does that whole attack here. Before that, though, okay, this is another part of 19 again, going into 19. Oh my god, the gift that keeps on giving. So Toto's like, I can't believe these poor troops are being controlled by Geass and stuff. I have so many questions. Number one, how does Toto know they're under Geass? They could be just loyal to him. How does he know that? And number two, how does he know the Geass is even like? How does he know the Geass works like that? Again, we don't have any evidence of this. They're acting like, oh my god, I've already ranted. I'm moving on. You know how I feel. It's bullcrap. They fire the cannon from the Gwain and wipes out half the troops. By the way, these are all carrying class cruisers, so in theoretically, there were like, I think 30 or 40,000 people died in just this one scene, which is absolutely insane. And Ogie's like, Zero, we can beat you. Oh, Noza, you left? Okay, dude. Thanks for appearing. Appreciate it. Anyways, Ogie's like, if we work together, we can beat you, Zero. Wait, Zero, Lelouch, who is it, guys? Just pick someone. He must have underestimated us. And Lelouch is like, no, I didn't. Here you go. Bam. Fuji mines. And he wipes out like all their troops and his own as well, which is pretty big. Part where are talking and he's saying stuff like, I want you to be on the island and you'll be safe there. Which again is fine, but why is the scene so creepily? I don't know. The island's kills all of his own ground troops. Lelouch doesn't care about them. And what's good with the ground troops as well is that could be why there's more troops than just on the air itself or in the. And they were like Schneizel couldn't go because they had their anti-air nightmare frames ready to go, which was kind of cool. But at the same time, though, again, this is a really massive scale, so maybe it makes sense. Maybe I'm not sure. C2 gets into the what's it called? The Lancelot to go and fight off the Black Knights in the frontier. She goes into battle, and then now that the Fuji thing went to play, Zaku went at the Damocles. He fired it off, and it's normal, right? So it's and I don't have it here. I guess it's the next one, the picture of it, but it's like a huge circle, right? And lots of people are killed off. I just don't understand how they didn't wipe out most of the forces, considering he didn't bring much to begin with. Maybe I missed something there. I'll have to go further into it, but it's kind of weird. Tommy and Kallen save Ogi. So cringe. No offense. And Lucia's like upset naturally what's going on with the scene. Nina is so close to finishing it. He's saying like, if Nina doesn't finish this thing, we're all screwed. So he's relying on her to do it, even though she hates him, but she also wants to defend. She also wants to defend Euphemia. He also mentioned else too, which is important, right? And I've heard the mentions in the last episode, but he was saying that Nina's precious Britannia that I now rule. So he's basically implying that Nina believes in the Britannia status quo, I guess, of like its philosophy. But in the previous episode, when Millie brings up Area 11 and then calls it to Japan, Nina doesn't really react in the way she normally does when it comes to Japanese people. So if you want kind of proof that Nina might have gone over racism, that's probably a better example because they literally brought up Japan and Nina didn't say anything in response to it being free. Say like, man, freeing Japan was a huge mistake, man. Or I don't care what Lush says, Japan will always be and second-class citizens in my book. She didn't tell Millie any of those things, so that's probably a better example of her getting over her racism and not appearing at the wedding of 2 people getting married that were one was Britannian, one was Japanese. Anyhow, let's see. So then Schneizel says at the very end, You know, a man who hasn't mastered a mask can't win. And man, Schneizel is so every episode of these last couple that you see with Schneizel, he always ends the episode with like an epic line. You know, like a man with no mask can't lead or something like that. Or if you have master mask, you can't win. He tells in the earlier one, he says like, who's gonna win, the Geass or the Flea? I mean, gosh, Schneizel's such a cool villain. Charles is better, but still, Schneizel is really quite awesome. I can't speak English. I'm like, yeah. And then for the last part, I believe Lelouch says, oh, Schneizel knows how Geass works. And I'm like, does he really though, Lelouch? How do you know he knows how it works? You know, it's kind of weird. Anywho, I gotta take a quick break and I'll be right back. 24 hours does that to you. I'll be right back. 1 second. Let me to the stream. So stop the cam. Okay, 1 second. Look at my brand up here. I will be right back. Okay, let me read those comments. All right, let's take a look. Drink some water real quick here. Yeah. Okay. Is it fast or slow to see my face? Some of the live stream is kind of what the hell? Did my thing just drop out? Okay, I think we're good now. I don't know, it was weird. I was getting like a weird it was my thing wasn't that great. Huh, what the hell's going on? 1 second. Audio. No, it looks like it's alright. What's the it's telling me my audio rate is like low bit rate? What the hell? 1 second. How do I lower my audio bit rate? It's weird. Doesn't say that at all. That's weird. How's the audio? Is it good or bad? I keep getting like weird messages telling me like it's not good, but like why? Now it's okay? I don't know. Son of a gun. Okay. It's really annoying because when I'm looking at yeah, I'm sure it is. I don't know what's going on because I'm looking at my own StreamYards thing, and it's obviously looks great. That's what you're supposed to be seeing. Then I look at my actual connection, and it's complete crap. Um, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's bad weather we're having. Son of a gun. Okay. Sorry, it'll be fine. Like in 3 hours, it doesn't matter anymore. That's how this always goes, right? Okay. All right. Hopefully, it'll improve as we go on. Can we agree to per Lelouch for Schneizel, vote for Lelouch? Oh, hey, Lelouch. Um, I like the episodes where the fans forgive Suzaku. Yeah, because he works with Lelouch. That makes sense. Nelly wanted to be the one that fires. You know, let me try something really quick. Let me try something. I'm gonna turn on my camera. Does that make it go faster? Sometimes saying video on and slow things down. Try that and see what it helps. I'll put this back up so you don't see my face only. Is that the problem? Come on, really? Even the video. That's so stupid. Even the video isn't the problem here. Like I've been in other areas of my life. If I use like a video and it's kind of slowing down the stream, but I'm not even showing a video now. What the hell? Is it because I'm sharing something? Here, let's remove this. Still slow? God dang it. Okay. Well, until I figure out what's going on, see this. Okay. Wait, Nelly has the power somehow know if someone's lying. So how I know if Shadow's lying? Does she have that power? I don't think so. So neat. Well, it's really slow. To be holding his hand. Oh, that's right. Okay. It's like kind of Wonder Woman's ability too. Shadow's lying to Nelly about dragon warning. The poor girl and naive and trust. Hen exiled her and got him like a clown. Or fiddle. I see your yeah, same metaphor. This episode reveals that despite how calm and reserved acts, deep down he's crazy. He generally thinks that separating his lives is the right thing to do. Pretty much. I love how Dieter acts like a fanboy towards Schneizel. I think anyone he acts like a fanboy towards. He loves destruction and chaos. And he wants to see the world change. So yeah, that's true. Okay, what else we got here? Sasaki used Lelouch's guilt for Yuffie's death and convinced him to becoming an evil dictator, then committing murder or suicide. I still don't like him. Fair, just saying. I think Lelouch's decision to do Sasaki was just supporting him. Kind of, back and forth. I play bad now. Yeah, I don't know what's. I. It's so frustrating. I gotta call my. Hey, I'm paying lots of money. Where's my internet connection? Why is it bad? Even though we love shipping Lelouch XC, I think they're a couple in the actual show. They certainly love each other, but how much they love each other is somewhat big. Very true. It's not Code Geass is not a romantic anime, so it makes sense. I'm interested in that Cecile even fights in the technically space orbit. He sees Lelouch as much of a threat that he needed personally to see him die. Pretty much. Kallen, now I think about it, why in God's name I got his personal body back and I feel exposed? Why are they rock shot like this? Fan service, pretty much. Um, R1 showed that Schneizel was researching Geass and the ruins of Count Island. He knows more than you think. I wish we got him to recap the series POV. Here's the thing, right? In the movies, yes, you're absolutely right. He mentions and all that stuff. In the anime, not so much. In fact, he said, I don't know much about this, and Lloyd's like, we should bring in like Cecile or something. He didn't really know what was going on when it came to the Geass ruins. They were going to use the Gwaine to do some research, but Lelouch stole it. So I can't really say that's true or not. You're right, but the films did a better job explaining it. So if at least the films, you're correct. Not so much in the anime itself. I know I think about it. I guess that the creators of Daring the Frogs got the copy idea that they learned from Collins. No copy chart at this point, which is very true. If you think about it, Lelouch had to ship keys with lots of characters. C2, Kallen, Shirley, and Suzaku, and it's enough even a shift for Yuffie and Nelly. I don't know about Nelly, but yes, the rest of them I do agree with. Lucia's speech gives Suzaku, you're giving a speech to mine enslaved soul. Lelouch, shut up, it's my moment. Not everyone's enslaved, but that's true. So what? It's still cool though. Even Arthur was attentive during that speech, by the way. Here, I'll show you. Even Arthur, one second. During the speech, let's see. Is this it? No, hold on. When he's talking, I probably don't. Let's see. Right before the speech, or right during the speech. Further, 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 further. Almost there. Almost there. I don't have it. But during this, Arthur was singing next to Deal. It was kind of funny. Arthur wasn't even paying attention, which was kind of cool. Anyways, back to it. I found out that Akira Yashida, the big designer at Capcom, created Chun-Li and Dark, made some mech designs for Code Geass. That's really cool. Carry big dot, carry ships, small dots, nightmare frames. Also, distance is pretty big. A large open ability. We're looking at a review and not a 3D one. I guess so. That's true, but it seemed like a lot of area to cover with all the flares. I mean, you're right, but if you actually count the dots, that's the point. If you count the actual dots, there's not a lot of like forces. That's the thing that confused me. You think there'd be a lot more in one flight. Like I think maybe 5 or 6 would wipe out the whole force, which doesn't seem like a lot of troops for a battle like this. Especially since Lelouch knows he's going to have to face off against Schneizel. So it's like, I mean, not Schneizel, sorry, against Flea Warheads in general. But maybe I'm not saying it correctly, which is possible. You got a point there. We don't see the exact distances and how it's spaced out. The strange self versus self question. Lelouch and C2 from the original series, Lelouch C2 Resurrection. Probably the newer Night Frame generally wins. I would go that one. We see the elevation map of Mount Fuji on the battle overview, so you can tell the scale of the battle. Elevation of Mount and the battle, so you can see the scale. So exactly, like how far apart the distance here? Are they fighting between like half the country or like one little area of the country? Because again, if you go to the episode, and I'll show you right here. Again, right here, they're fighting in this one little area as opposed to like, I mean, granted, it's still a lot of area, but it doesn't seem like much. Yeah, there's Fuji, right? So this is like the best example we have of a 3D thing, as you were saying. See the ground forces, upper forces. I mean, distance is this? There's like some numbers here. I'm not sure what this is, the target object, but there's something. Scale to me was kind of confusing to think about at some points. Anyways, the problem with stretching out your troops, you weaken your lines. The battle takes place over Mount Fuji and goes over the ocean because Lelouch was retreating from the flare. It keeps out of that range. I don't know. It still doesn't seem like a lot of distance to me, but true. Uh, you can't get with each other. It's so annoying. Tamaki. Tamaki saw House and the royal family on national television. It's pretty natural to assume those troops were also us. Tamaki pushes Gias on the royal national television. Here's a question. Is that proof that the Black Knights knew about how Gias worked because they saw Lelouch on public telling everybody? That's a good point. You know what? Let me add that to my notes. That's probably actually see it. Hold on. So there is proof then. When Lelouch used Gias, I'll write this down so I don't forget. When Lelouch used Gias on national television, I guess that's how they figured out how it worked. That's when the BKs learned how it worked. Of course, you have to wonder then if that was the case, then I got to rethink my thoughts on that because that's actually a good point. That's when they actually see it in action. Fair point. I don't know if it's still fair to assume, but I guess it's a fair point. That's a fair point. Oh, you need to shut up, Schneizel. You do dirty work because you can't lead people not genius. Damn. I mean, Toto. But yeah, I know what you mean. The Toba, I have no idea. If they really discussed that, it would have been interesting, actually. The audio keeps lagging. Is it lagging now? Is it lagging? What time is it? What lagging? What fudge? All right, am I lagging now? Oh my god, this is crazy. But I'm not running anything, doing anything. Like what the fudge? Like I have like, hold on, let me stop sharing for a second here. Let me remove this. Yes, get rid of that. What's going on? Maybe I could change. Well, let me try something real quick here. Let's see. Can I change this? 1 second. I'm having like, hmm. Give me a second here. What can I do to fix this? Can I change the settings of my thing? Like, will it let me? Uh, like ultra latency, so it should be pretty small. Yeah, but that's not good enough, you know. What? That's not good enough. Once. All right. 1 second. I want to see something here. What's going on here? Is it my upload speed or download speed that's failing here? This is really frustrating. All right, so my download speed is 194 megabytes per second. Let's see. Optimal speeds for cards. Let's see. My upload is 0.7 megabytes. Ooh, that's not good. That's probably what's going on. Yeah, how much speed do I need here? 1 second. I'm almost. How much do you need? This could be explaining what's going on here. Mm-hmm. YouTube need 2 to 5 seconds upload speeds. Oh, damn it! My upload speed is 7. Oh, that's not good. My upload really bad. According to that, said you need at least 2 to 5. Um. Oh wow. So mine is. Oh, that's for the lowest, by the way. Mine right now is 7. That's not good. It's funny because I thought I was. God dang it, that's not good. 1 second. I'm gonna check one more thing, and then we'll move on to something else. I want to see one more thing about something. 2 seconds here, or maybe more than that. Hold up. This is tech time with 5 minute job. Why does the internet suck? Okay, 1 second. This is a problem. I gotta like contact my provider and be like, "Yo, what the heck? I'm paying money and you can't give me a decent thing here." 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Let me look at my plan here. Um, no, what's? Oh my god, what is my service? All right, I'm almost done here. 1 second. Uh, let's see. Last bill. What is going on here? How much am I paying? I don't care about. I don't care about. Where's my plan? My actual account. How much am I getting? This is crap. I just want to know my make bills, field bills, my services. Maybe let's see. What's this? The actual. Gotta be kidding me. What? Find out. One last thing. Find out how much upload speed my plan has RCN. Because right now my upload speed is like way too low. Is that the correct RCN speed? Like I don't think so. I was upgraded too recently. God dang it! I can't find anything that's helpful at this point. I can tell you guys that for some reason my connection is crap. It's supposed to be a lot better, and it's not. So that's what I'm gonna do this week. I'm gonna figure out what the hell's going on with it. You know what? Last week it wasn't like this. So I think there's something wrong with my connection because I'm pretty sure my speed is supposed to be this quick. Pretty sure. Whatever. It's so annoying. Okay. Well, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what the hell happened. I thought things were okay, but obviously not. So I don't know what you guys can hear or see, so I do apologize in that department. So I guess then we won't spend too much time this stream then because I don't want to have you guys sit through crappy lag. I gotta figure out like why the hell my stream thing is just complete shit. Anywho, I'm going to we'll do some summonings and then we'll see how we are at that point. Maybe the internet will fix itself because now it tells me it's fine. So I don't know what's going on. It's so frustrating. Okay, anyways, let's share my Now it's telling me it's okay. Is it okay now? Like, is there any lag or is there lag? I don't know. Son of a gun. Now there's lag again. God dang it. All right. Anyways, let me guys show you something really cool here. Okay. So they're having an event for Janissary Code, and let me show you how the event works. Um, I got to change my camera in like 20 minutes. But basically, you go to this thing here, and you can spend money, and it will do items and stuff. So let me show you how that works. So you click this, and you spend here, and you get like a bunch of stuff. It's really cool. See, I got a new code link, a bunch of AP. Let's do it again. See, a bunch of energy, which I don't need, but whatever. It's a really nice event. I wish they did this more often. You get lots of cool stuff. I wonder if it's because I'm also broadcasting. I mean, that's why it's not. I don't know. That could be an issue. Maybe dual broadcasting and it's fudging up the whole thing. There's also I can do for future streams where you can change the audio settings with like a thing you can download. Maybe I'll try that. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, there's no delay. I'm watching my end delay. Not a big delay, but there's a small delay. Oh my god. How often do you stream? I stream, I try to do once a week. If my internet doesn't get fixed though, I'll never stream again. I don't know. Are you guys lagging? 'Cause I'm looking at my end, I don't see any differences. What's going on here? Is it not up? I think I'm frozen. Am I frozen? I sometimes do. I might have to for this case because for some reason my stream is just not working. What I might do for this, I honestly just upload the whole thing, like a re-upload, because at least StreamYard is going well, and for some reason it's showing up here. I apologize. It looks like it looks like you guys are not seeing the updated stuff. I could be wrong here, but I don't think you guys are seeing anything I'm doing now. Okay, I'm gonna have to remove my. I don't want the camera, so I'm getting rid. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, I'm still right. It's stupid. Okay, I'm turning on my camera. Okay. Hopefully that helps. I don't know. We'll see. I was frozen. Yeah, I was like, oh god, I'm frozen. No, I'm like watching on your end to make sure I'm not frozen. Yeah, I'm still frozen. Oh no. We're okay. Let's see. There's a delay, but sure. But at least are you seeing it though? I got Shinkiro, which not Shinkiro. I'm sorry, Gawain, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I'm still frozen again. This is so bull crap. I'm always freezing it out. Like even there, it's frozen. Oh my god. What else can I do to make this go faster? Am I running anything in the background? Let's see. Let me close everything else out. I'll just close all these out too. One second. Okay, close these out. Close this out. Close. I'll even close this out too. but I can't change audio stream. Like, so that's great. But like, it's nothing to do with D-Tard, I'll tell you that much. God dang it. Okay. You're not seeing any of this. God dang it. You know what's so frustrating about this is that I had like I had a plan to like show you guys this really cool thing, and you won't see it because this game internet connection decides to fail at the worst god dang time. Oh my god. I'm so mad. I will definitely upload a version of this when it's completed. Son of a gun. So see this thing here? Can you guys see this? I don't know. Like, actually, it could be nice to show you this. So what they were doing was for this event, or because the game's anniversary or something like that, 200 million people downloaded the game. Sorry, now I'm going too fast. Anyhow, you get a chance of free summon a bunch of tens. So I was like, okay, I'll do it in front of you guys. That'd be kind of cool, right? But no, you won't see it. So god dang it. But we'll try it. We'll try it. Let me just I'm gonna try something else actually. I'm gonna try one more thing. Can I oh, you can't end it? Oh, that's annoying. What does this do? I'm gonna try one more thing. Can I end one stream on another? But that won't be as like if I remove this. Oh, that doesn't do anything. Damn it. Okay, I thought maybe I can stop the stream on one location. That's why it's not. Just something to think about. Anyhow, let's try the summon. Hopefully you guys see it. If you don't, I do apologize. But alright. Oh my god, nothing. This is bad. Wow. My tank garbage. There's no one even here. What was the point of that? 10? Nothing. Lame. Just lame. Oh, some threes. Oh, thank you for throwing the bones. You mother chuckers. Toto, thank you. Ogie, wonderful. Ogie. Tamaki. Guilford. Tamaki. Nice, Cecile. Toto again, I'll take it. Nunnally? Or I'll take that. I don't need more Nunnalies. No, not Kaji. No one likes him. Well, that sucked. What a waste. So much for that crap, huh? Alright, next summon. We're gonna do 10 fours. 10 fours? 10, yeah. Not 10 fours, 10 ones. Okay. Nothing. Garbage. 2 complete blanks in a row. Oh, some threes. 4 threes. Well, a lot of threes. Upgrades? No. Damn it. Okay, let's do it again. No upgrades, unfortunately. Alright, Cecile again. Sure, I'll take it. Tamaki, we'll take it. Lloyd, I'll definitely take that. Lloyd's great. Not so much Gino, though. Valletta, alright. Yukiya, alright. Ooh, I think it's Bradley. Yeah, we got Bradley. Yay. Said, you suck, Bradley. No one likes you. Yeah. God dang, I hate Bradley. Piece of crap. Jeremiah. It's so bad. I feel you guys. You can't see it. Oh, surely. I'll take that. Jeremiah again. Very nice. I got Bradley, if that matters. Alright, now we'll do a 4 summon. So I've got... Okay. You anything. Probably watch it from my end. So freaking annoying. Yeah, there's Bradley. Alright. Next, do a level 10, level 4 character. C2. Alright, who are we gonna get? I don't really care who it is, honestly. I don't care. Be anybody, even a duplicate. You got everyone anyhow. It's fine. Oh, Rolo! Look who we got! We got Rolo. Yay, Rolo. Look at that, guys. We got Rolo. I'm not against that. Got Bradley and Rolo. Very nice. Cool. Alright. Now we're gonna do a Code Link summon. Lots of summoning, guys. Lots of summoning. I know the screen is kinda off. Really? He's broken mic too? Unbelievable. I don't know, like, once again. One second. I'm on Chrome. Not on Chrome. What the fudge? Let me try something. Making decrease my usage elsewhere. I know it's bad. I don't know what's going on with it. Never said. Oh, I can't do that now. Damn it. Let's try something. Let me open my my task manager. I'm gonna end like a bunch of stuff that's running in the background. Let's see. And let's see what else we got here. And this and okay. How's that? Is that better? Any lag now? I just canceled like a bunch of services. There should be nothing else running now. That's like eating up my crap. Damn it. Okay, let's keep going. What else can I get rid of? That's annoying. Let's see. Let's see what else is happening here. Get rid of this. Close this out. Close that out. I don't care what this crap is. I don't want anything. None of this crap loading. Alright. What else? Like, why are we still getting anything? I literally closed out everything that could possibly use the internet right now. Well, I know what this is and that. Let's see. We don't need that. We don't need Plex right now. checking a bunch of stuff right now. Give me a second here. It looks okay. I don't know what the problem is. Holy crap. Looks okay. Like, what's the issue? Where's the bottleneck? Network. Let's see. Does it tell me like where I'm sending or receiving or listening ports? Maybe that's what I want. I don't know what's going on right now. Anyways, let's I think it's better now, but let me know if it is or not. I got rid of a bunch of stuff, so hopefully it's faster. Let's see. Nah, it's still lagging. God dang it. Okay, Dorothea. Faulkner. Euphemia and Suzaku. Anya. Jeremiah. Euphemia being embarrassed after Cornelia touched her. Ooh. Kikisa. With her Geass power. Which was it do? I don't even know. Sayako. Deter before he gets shot. Ooh. That's cool. Yeah, it's still crap. It's better, but it's not that much better. I really closed out everything. I'm gonna have to discuss with my my company, like what's going on. Okay, let me close this. I don't know what's wrong with my connection. Like, StreamYard is not helping at all. Not helping at all. Let me try something else. If I disconnect, then reconnect, would that fudge everything up? Probably. What's kind of annoying is I can't change my connection speed. If I could change it, I could lower it, but it won't let me change it, which is so frustrating. Like, if I could just tell it, hey, could you, oh, I don't know. Low definition, maybe? Okay, that doesn't help too much. Anyways. I'm trying to get and Kaguya. Try, I know you guys can't see it well. I promise I'll reload this later on. Here we go. First time doing it. Okay. Just her. Lovely. Okay. First attempt. Possibly failure. Let's see. Yep, it's gonna be a failure. We won't get Leila on this one. Aiko. Forgot her name. Just kidding. Futaba. Valletta. Toto. Shirley. Ogi. Detard. Valletta. Cecile. Euphemia's boobs. I'm just kidding, Euphemia. Alright, let's do it again. Lame. No upgrade, okay. Cecile. Wilford. Tamaki. Cecile. Shirley. Guilford. Lots of Guilford. Cecile. Klaus. Toto. Okay, really, I'll take it. Alright. Upgrade, upgrade. No. It's not a gun. Klaus. Ah, Kaguya, okay. Shirley. Toto. And Futaba. It's funny because he's really Kaguya. Kaji. Another Bradley. Here, I'll just let it. Give it a second. Give it a second. I won't like speed through it. See that? I got Kaguya and Bradley. All right, last time. Then I'm gonna give up. Last time. All right, fudge me. Upgrade, 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 upgrade. Garbage. Got Lloyd again. Yep, no thanks. I'm not swimming anymore. I wasted enough on this crap. Just garbage. Anyways, I got a couple characters, so we're good on that department. I didn't get Leila. Sorry about that. Okay, Okay, I'm gonna end the stream here, not because I want to, because unfortunately I just can't get the audio. The connection's really bad. So what I'm gonna do is I'll upload this right afterwards of the non messed up version. You guys, I do apologize for what have the internet, but like the last week it was fine. So I do apologize. Anyways, thanks guys for watching the stream, and hope by next week I'll have this all figured out. Yeah.
教えるのうまいな。おかげで追試を受けなくて済みそうだ。